what is going on, Duckers? And thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Decoy podcast live stream. Because it's not just Decoy voice anymore. Over on Twitch, we are just Decoy. Over on, I think it's Kick, Rumble, upcoming soon, Instagram and Twitter should be Decoy as well. So hopefully I can just collect all those just Decoy names, including on YouTube as well. But right now we're at Decaf Decoy and just Decoy on Twitch, so make sure you follow me over there. Yeah, thanks Freddas watching over there, Zero Charisma watching over there, Dark Knight David, and also Asobi-san over on Twitch, and I think I saw Troglodyte as well. What's up, Maybe Sunshine? Good to see you here. Let me make certain that Maybe Sunshine is a moderator over on Decap Decoy, because that's all pretty much we're streaming on now. I think Decoy Voice, we're officially, yeah, Maybe Sunshine's a mod over there, and so is by Deity. Good to know. Yeah, we're starting fresh, so I feel like we're not going to have as many live viewers as we normally do. I think right now, it's not even saying I'm online. Let's see. Hold on. I see a lot of you guys are here. Oh yeah, 100 over on YouTube. I think we have 1 on Twitch and 14 on Kick. And I don't even think I'm getting numbers over on Rumble, which is fine. I mean, watch me on the platform you want to watch me, whatever you find it more comfortable. I just think it's I think it's important to put myself in a situation should one platform just decide to say, not even decide to say, should one platform have a AI bot come through my channel and just decide, you know what, we gotta block them over there, because that has been happening, unfortunately. So get myself nice and insulated. If all of a sudden we disappear off one platform, you can find me on the next platform and the next platform, and then we can just keep this channel going. Because honestly, I'm a very, I don't want to say lukewarm. I'm a very just like a moderate person. I'm not like ever having crazy extreme takes. Like, apparently, if you live over on Reddit, you think I'm this alt-right guy. If you're over on, I think it's a BitChute, they all think I'm super liberal for whatever reason. But honestly, I'm just kind of a moderate person. But every now and then, the AI bots will come through and ban you. So we're gonna be nice and insulated on that. Yeah, Super SJ says, I'm sad the Democrat left or insane, and that's what it is. Like, I just saw that one really cool channel, Financial Audit, I think. I want to do a whole video about it, but Financial Audit, Caleb Hammer, unfortunately, he's just getting a dose of what the modern-day Democrats are, because he just has regular takes like, what was the latest thing he had that he was catching flack for? I forgot what it was specifically, and I don't want to put words in his mouth. But he has mildly conservative takes, like against like crime, and now they're saying, "Oh my God, he's become an alt-right guy. He's a conservative person. We can't follow him anymore." And it's like they've gone nuts. Whoa! How loud was that? I heard that right now. Was that loud? But thank you, Jaybird, for giving me 100 bits. I don't know. Did you guys even hear that? Because I saw that. Okay, oh yeah, you're Super Saiyan. Yeah, that's what it is. You didn't hear that? You didn't hit on Kick. So, okay, maybe just I'm getting the volume from something, but you guys saw the bits. Interesting. Okay, cool. Good to know you guys didn't hear it, because I don't want to, that was kind of loud to me. But, yeah, let's see. Yeah, Maybe Sunshine says, funny how protecting citizens is a war on cities, but letting crime run rampant is called leadership. And that's the thing, is it's because that, what's that word? Anarcho-tyranny is what they're looking for. They're looking for a system where they'll let crime get so bad for so long, you will just be begging for law enforcement to come in with tyranny, essentially, like essentially martial law, because you just want justice again. Let me adjust this right now. I'm checking all my platforms. Still very new at this. I mean, I feel like the beginning of these have just been chats, which is kind of cool, where I can kind of catch up with you guys, and also figure things out as we do this. What the heck? No, I'm rejecting. Turning this down. There you go. And someone says another milk toast Asian. I mean, I guess I can't. I don't know if I can do a poll. I don't think I can do a poll, but in a poll, say why if he is and if he isn't. Do you guys consider Tim Pool Asian? Because I know what my answer is, but I mean, do you guys consider him an Asian person? Wait, let me look at my numbers again. Not that your live stream numbers are, but just seeing, is it worth to be multi-places? Yeah, you guys don't think he's Asian. See, I know in America, if you're just partially anything, if you're 1/4 black, you're black in America. Like, what is Colin Kaepernick? He's barely even, and then he's just classified as black. Yeah, nobody thinks. 1 of 6 ads. I'm sorry, guys. If you're watching over on Twitch, I need to fix Twitch. If you're getting 1 of 6 ads going on, that's not good. Someone said over 100 on Rumble. I don't see that. Let me see. Because I know they gave me Decoy, which is pretty awesome. I like that. Oh, 114 over on that. I barely see any chatters over there. Wow, you guys are gifting me memberships. Thank you, Gaming on Rumble. Thank you. I need to keep on going. So yeah, it looks like we have a lot of people over there. Twitch, probably 13. Let me double check my numbers over there. I'm just curious. It might echo me for a second. Yeah, over on Twitch we have 11 people, but that's still pretty cool. And then, yeah, Kick 26, and then Decaf Decoy on YouTube 319. We're gonna have to get used to not having as many people. Like, remember when we were just live streaming all the time, Decoy Voice, I believe it was before the election, just consistently every week we were getting something like 4,000 to 6,000 live viewers. I think after the election we probably had like 12,000 live viewers, and that was a lot for me just in my room as a regular guy. Having 12,000 people watching live is pretty intense. But getting back to just your roots of being obscure again, which is kind of cool. So it's kind of cool. Yeah, 400 collectively it's saying right now. Oh, thank you, Neobox Shrub, for giving me bits. What is a bit? I honestly don't even know I bit. I know it's cash. I feel like that's like a quarter or something. Yeah, I streamed last week. I mean, I think I might up my streaming numbers, but maybe not for a while. We'll figure things out. It's a penny? Okay. 25 cents. Appreciate it, though. But thank you for gifting all those memberships over there. You guys, again, you don't have to spend money on me. You don't gotta send me money. We're just hanging out. Right now, the way that I earn my living is from YouTube ads when you're watching the videos, because I can get easily anywhere between 400,000 views to 1 million views on a video. That's paying my bills. I appreciate that. I know that Twitch, the payments over there are good, and also me getting at Decoy on Twitch and also getting front page access on a platform like that is really going to help push my audience over there. So I think that'll be a kind of a cool thing for us to have. The Amazing Asian is streaming on Twitch again. Who is that? It wouldn't be me. Yeah, okay, you say I'm never obscure, but comparatively, like, what was it? Going on Timcast, I think we were live to like 20,000 people. Obviously, it's not just me. It's a whole panel, and they're tuning in for, Tim and also me and a whole bunch of stuff. But being back to just having the chat kind of trickle through, that's why you guys don't see it on screen right now, is a little bit different. Yeah, you don't get ads if you subscribe. Like, if you're on Twitch and you have Amazon Prime, you've never watched Twitch, but you have Amazon Prime. If you connect your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch.tv account, you can give me a Prime subscription, which gives me, I think, like $5 a month, which is pretty cool because it costs you nothing, but you also get to watch me ad-free, which is also pretty awesome. Yeah, and that's the thing. Cole says he doesn't like YouTube, but you subscribe to me, and that's the thing is, somebody was talking about when I finally said, I'm going to be over on Twitch because they, reached out, gave me a really cool opportunity. It's pretty awesome. But I think it's good to be on places like Twitch. I think it's good to be on places like Kick or YouTube or whatever, even though they're not necessarily going to be surrounded by people that are like-minded, or even the platforms like-minded. I think it's good to reach audiences of people that may not be ever exposed to people like you, and maybe they're going to be open-minded enough to say, okay, you know what, this guy's a wacky looking Asian, he's carrying a pencil bat, he's being a little bit ADHD. Maybe you give him a chance, Yeah, Yeah, why limit your viewers? Why limit your viewers? Because you guys are going to be on whatever platform and watch. I have a suspicion Twitch will be the biggest platform. I'm not certain. I know that Asmongold makes the majority of his cash over on Kick, but honestly, Asmongold, Tectone, all those people have much better relationships with these platforms than I do. But I think once I become a officially a live streamer, but once I start live streaming consistently, I think the things will change. You can say what you want here on Rumble. That's the thing, is I think a lot of people think that I'm like this big censored guy. Where I was like, oh, I would like to talk about this certain country, but the platform told me not. It's like, no, I really harbor no extreme views. Like, I genuinely don't. Like, my biggest controversial opinion is our prison should be packed to the fullest. I want Asmongold to make his own private prison and pack that to the fullest. I think there are very real scenarios where capital punishment would be appropriate. I think those are very, very perceived as conservative values today. But honestly, I'm a very big law and order guy, because being in Los Angeles as long as I had been, I've seen how bad your community can get. The fabric of society just gets teared to shreds where nobody trusts nobody, and it's the third world. So that's my controversial opinion, but it's not like YouTube is stopping me from sharing it. I will censor out names of certain countries. I will censor out most profanity, because it makes it not necessarily, oh, I'm afraid of being demonetized, but it's like, no, I'm afraid of them categorizing you a specific way, and then you don't get pushed out to the algorithm. Because I can say things to you guys, not necessarily in code or whatever, but I can say things to you guys that will let you know what I'm talking about. Will let you know that this is something that I believe in. And we don't gotta blast it out there where it's like, oh, the AI bot is gonna flag this and say, oh, nobody can hear this. It's like, no, we all know what we're talking about. Let's be on a platform where we can speak freely. And the thing is, yeah, Kyokai says Twitch is pro all these negative things, but honestly, you gotta give him a chance. You gotta give him a chance. Am I gonna get banned on Twitch in the first week? Probably not, but possibly. But I always run the risk of getting banned on YouTube as well. Like, I remember very, very early on, I think this is during like the COVID lockdowns. Or when did... Actually, you know what? I want to be accurate. When did Elon Musk go on SNL? April? No. Yeah, May 8th, 2021, which I believe is still lockdown times. Maybe it's not. Maybe I think the lockdown was just much larger than it was. But when I was doing a video about Elon Musk on SNL, we talked about Doge and Dogecoin or whatever. Randomly, I got like a account strike, violation, whatever. It was like AI, before AI was a big deal, came through and said, like, gave the account a strike and said, hey, look, this is you're violating rules. And I'm like, what fucking rule? I just played some video from SNL of Elon Musk in a Wario costume talking trash, making jokes, and I didn't push anything. I was like, oh my god, like, they're saying Doge of the moon now. I got a strike, and then later on, like, I asked for a review. It said instantaneously, oh yeah, manual review rejected, you still have the strike. And then later on, the strike disappeared. They said, oh, we rescinded it. Now we know that this is okay. And it's like, yeah, I don't trust any platform to not strike you down. Yeah, and that was probably one of the last times SNL was funny. Very, very sad. See, okay, hold on. Let me check. Because the one thing about some of these chats is they get out of hand. Like, they get out of hand. Let me figure out how to oh, wait, that's not... Wait, am I streaming on the wrong thing? Are you guys watching me on @decoy or @decoy voice? Because that could be a problem too. Where's my channel? Decap Decoy, right? Wait, where is my channel? Here's my channel. Decoy. Oh yeah, we're live in the right place. Keep that muted. Okay. Yeah. Decaf decoy. Okay, just making sure. Right. Not really with PBS. I don't know. I get to see everybody. Jesus Christ. Um. Yeah, the Biden administration pressuring all social media accounts to censor and ban things that goes against their agenda. Very scary times, and I think that without Elon Musk does a lot of things that we don't like. Oh yeah, we're live right now. It does a lot of things we don't like. He kind of went off on Donald Trump when he got in his feelings for a while, but he since kind of pivoted back, and now they're buddies again after Charlie Kirk's assassination. But without Elon Musk buying Twitter and turning it into X, I think free speech would have never happened, because once Twitter said they took away all censorship, got rid of all the insane wokeness moderation, it pressures places like Facebook and YouTube to kind of follow suit, because you can't have just one website that's allowing you to get the truth, and all the other websites are becoming like CNN and MSNBC, or MSNBC is now MS Now. Yeah. Yeah, I would hope we don't get banned inevitably, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, so we'll be saying the biggest issue with YouTube is shadow banning and deranking. Aside from that, the thought bots have uploaded adult content to their page with links to that. Yeah, that's one thing I didn't realize what was happening, because I was trying to tell my buddy he's an engineer, like a coder, and I was asking him, I was like, look at this adult content bot. Like, it's the top comments almost instantaneously from a video I uploaded, but it was just like a pretty girl that links to her page, that links to another page on YouTube, that links to adult content. But the comment they left very quickly was something that was insightful. I'm like, there's no way the AI combed through all my video that fast and gave an insightful comment that was popular. And what they discovered is, no, it's just copying the top comment already and reposting it, and with a pretty face it gets ranked higher, and the bots upvote that. So it's like, it's very sad how much Google can't seem to get rid of those bots, but they're just disabling all these accounts incorrectly. It's sad. Yeah, I think a lot of people are realizing that these adult content people, they aren't actual. You're not talking to the girls. They're Indian men, or anywhere like a third world country. They're interacting with that. I think the veil's been broken. I look forward to the idea that the only account, that only adult's website, disappears in the near future. I think that is a stain on the internet. Even though the internet is mainly that, this has been a stain on the internet. Yeah. A tiny room band, like they put us on a small place. It is what it is. Yeah, AI can imitate anybody's voice now. It doesn't do a good job with my voice, though. I think it has to be somebody that is, like when you use 11 Labs to clone Joe Rogan, Elon Musk, Donald Trump, Joe Biden, all that fun stuff. It did pretty well, but for whatever reason, it couldn't capture mine. So I think I'll be okay for a while, guys. I'll be okay for a while. Yeah, another company will take over in its place, but not if the clientele knows, like, the veil is gone. Like, I think that, the naive man goes in the strip club and believes the stripper really likes him, and the naive man now goes online and thinks they're really talking to this 10 out of 10 knockout that has 1 million subscribers. No. It's either AI or some third world country's person paid to interact with you. Once that veil goes away, they'll go to other stuff. AI critical drinker. I kind of think that that'd be cool if there was an AI decoy voice, like not decaf decoy, like espresso decoy, whatever we're gonna call it, where AI just generates and puppeteers me, so you think it's me, but it's just me, the AI operating as if it was me, reacting to all the top news stories back to back to back, just nonstop, 24/7 decoy voice. He never turns off. That would be awesome. Would it be profitable? Probably in the beginning, until people realize it's not me, but yeah, that'd be cool. Decoy voice. I mean, why not? Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and get to the. I think we have enough people in here. I guess we're not going to get to like a super high number of live stream viewers, but that's perfectly fine. What are we at? Oh yeah, 30 over on Twitch. That's pretty awesome. 700 overall is what it is. I wish there was a plugin I could use to give the number somewhere on the screen. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get into today's video because we got some good topics to cover. Follow me over on Decoy Voice. Make sure you subscribe to Decaf Decoy, but you guys are already watching on Decaf Decoy, so I guess that's all that matters. Wait, 560 watching? I guess my number is over here off. Whatever, that's fine. And then also, if you're not following me over on... And then also, if you're not following me over on... And then also, if you, how do I mute? Oh my god, it's just gonna keep on echoing and echoing. Oh, it is. Oh, I gotta stop that. If you're not following me over on Twitch, follow me over on Twitch as well, just in case. If you have Amazon Prime, be sure to give me the Amazon Prime sub. I don't think it costs you anything, but yeah, that would be pretty awesome if you did. Looks like a lot of you guys have a couple places, but this is getting crazy. It's just gonna echo infinitely. But I just kind of like this idea that I was able to get at Decoy. That's pretty cool to me. But let's go ahead and get to today's topic, where this was from, I think it's October. So this is them protesting ICE activity in Portland. And this is how bad it got. Accomplishing nothing, but I want to point something out to you guys over here. And this is from the Black Conservative Preacher. Nobody's following him over on YouTube, so follow him if you haven't already. And they're all tactical Amazon purchased riot gear. And does this guy literally have on the top of his what looks like a hockey helmet like tongs for like cooking? Okay, he's running away. But notice how he ran in the front of a literal clown. The literal clowns are out there saying, "Hey, we're gonna stop the ICE operations." He runs away over there, past a Snoopy doll, and also a emotions expert. So, in all these mass protests all across the country for months on end, they've accomplished nothing because they had an emotions expert. Yeah, Oregon's ruined Portland. I mean, Portland ruined Portland. It's pretty bad. The thing is, like, as a true New Yorker, you apologize for these fakes you see in the city. They're not real New Yorkers, but they are now, because the majority of New Yorkers right now aren't American born. So that's the real New York City. Doesn't matter what it was in the 90s. This is the real city right now. Yeah, that is Tactical Timu. I like that. That's funny to me. But yeah. After months on end of this, and they're getting popped with these pepper ball rounds. So yeah, you had this for months on in. They protest, accomplish nothing, but this is how desperate they're becoming. This is a genuine ad. Who put this out? I guess we'll see in the very end. Anti-ICE ad. This is a real ad. This shows the sheer amount of desperation this side has because they've accomplished so little.
You will be
logo on his name. No, he's so ashamed. He's so ashamed that he's providing for his family, that he's getting an insanely high signing bonus, and he's serving the democratically elected leader of the country. Like, this is what Americans wanted. What will you say when she asks you about your day? Oh, him smashing a window. I'm wondering if this is AI footage. I can't imagine they would use real footage for this. Let me just adjust that. I can't imagine that would be real footage. I wonder if this is AI. Adding screaming.
Can't hide you from your neighbors, your children.
Shoving a camera in the face of somebody because father broke the law. Unfortunate that that's what happens when you have a criminal that gets arrested. This wouldn't just be with immigration. This would be any instance where a parent breaks a law and someone gets arrested. But shoving the camera in their face so they can make their ad disgusting.
They'll know. You can walk away before the shame follows you home.
The shame follows you home. Sheer desperation.
Daddy, how's your day?
What will you say? Paid for by Women's March win? What is women's... Wait, what is the... I gotta ask ChatGPT right now. What does the woman's... What does the Women's March do? They're a social and political movement that organizes protests, advocacy campaigns, and community actions focused on gender equality and human rights. Yeah, awful propaganda. Oh, is it Women's March win is George Soros? That makes sense then. Progressive activism, influencing public conversations, energizing grassroots participation, and faced internal controversies over leadership inclusivity. So it's one of the most recognizable women's rights advocacy. What were the controversies? Accusations of anti-Semitism in leadership. Leadership infighting and lack of inclusivity. Of course, the Women's March will have issues with inclusion. I wonder if it's not including enough male to female individuals. Financial transparency questions. Yeah, where's that money going? Disagreements over stances on Israel-Palestine. Because honestly, it would be a thing where you gotta wonder if it's the Women's March and it's about women's rights. Would they be on the side of a country or a religion that forces them to, at the very least, cover their hair, but at the most, cover everything but their eyes, say they can't go to school, they can't read, they can't be in public unaccompanied by men? Like, there's a lot of rules that would be in direct conflict with what the Women's March should be. So the left always eventually eats itself. And here we go again. Fragmentation. Okay, I mean, there's a whole bunch of trans inclusivity debates, like the Women's March. Yeah, they've gone off the rails with this. I think it's kind of funny that this ad is beyond evil. It's beyond pathetic. It's beyond desperate to do this. Like the thing is, you have all these people crying, and it's sad. There are not tragedies. There are criticisms to what's happening with the arrests. Okay, I could buy that. But also, I don't think that you've seen the conservatives, whenever you have something like an illegal immigrant murders or ours an innocent American citizen, I don't think I've seen an advertisement. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think I've seen an advertisement that shoved the camera in the faces of the families, HD 4K, crying, saying, you know, when you refuse to turn over a known criminal that's already in jail to DHS, you're causing this. Like, I don't think I've seen that, even though it's actually the reality. I think it's kind of classless to say, hey, this person's feeling a very, very big emotion this is the worst moment in their life. Let's use this, you know, like standing on the graves of people to push this thing. I think it's classless. But now you're seeing this come back from the actual official Department of Homeland Security account showing this.
Are you an illegal alien in the United States? Are you looking for the perfect holiday gift for your family? Then DHS has the best holiday deal of your life. It's the CBP Home app.
I know this is going to make them lose their mind. But yes, CBP Home app, it's a great thing. I think they get, $1,000 exit bonus. They're given time to coordinate their departure, get their, all their affairs in order. And also, they don't get arrested in the street. They also don't cause some riot where a U.S. citizen is at I believe it was the pot farm over in Camarillo, and falls to their death while they're trying to evade the ICE agents. Like, this solves a lot of those issues, but it's going to make them lose their mind because, they have no chill at all.
It's free. It's fast. Just download the CBP Home app and fill out your information. We'll take care of your travel arrangements, and once you're home, you'll receive a $1,000 stipend.
I don't like this. I don't like it by the concept of saying, hey, you broke the rules, we're going to reward you, but apparently that $1,000 is pennies compared to how much it would cost to actually find and arrest them, send them back, and also go through the necessary channels legally to do it. So yeah, it's savings to us, but still don't like the fact that we have to reward them. So yeah, thank you for the super chat. I'll read all the super chats at the end of the show.
So don't delay. Join the 2 million illegal aliens who have already left.
2 million.
Download the CBP Home app today.
Yeah, and the thing is, here you go. Despite all these massive protests, the literal clowns and the emotions experts that popped up outside the Portland federal building and all the crying faces they did, 2 million. Trump is winning. Americans are liking it. His approval rating is out the roof, and Americans are sick of this.
And get home for the holidays.
I'll say it's funny. Maybe a little bit antagonizing. I don't know if that's where we want to be, but I think a lot of people are very happy with the way the president is operating, because what a lot of people didn't know and what a lot of people are super upset over is the idea that the SNAP benefit fiasco, when the government shut down and the Democrats kept on shutting the government down, a lot of Americans rely on SNAP benefits, but it kind of opened their eyes to the Democrat lies. To the Democrats wanted to make sure undocumented people still had access to the SNAP benefits. And when the Republicans say we're not going to sign that part of the bill to keep the government open, all Americans are going to suffer because the Democrats insisted on them being included on our government spending. Now, the crazy part about this is, if on Google, this is actually a real thing, you can search the same thing. I say, or search, Trump cuts SNAP benefits to the undocumented. The AI overview answer, this is the official answer, it's citing something from November 12th, saying undocumented immigrants have never, in bold, never been eligible for the federal supplemental nutrition assistance program or food stamps. Therefore, Trump has not cut benefits for this specific group, as they were already excluded from the program. So if you go to Google, they're gonna fucking lie to your face and say they never received these benefits. But here we are in Congress saying, hey, look, did you know that 20% of them were on it?
So this is the chart of the SNAP program. Now, I know everyone can't see this, but this goes back to October of 2023. And I want everyone to follow. This is the red line that under Joe Biden, you see an almost 30% increase in the cost of the SNAP program over the...
And mind you, food stamps, when I was a kid, some people need to be on it. Yeah, you go on hard times, get some supplemental nutrition assistance. Like, there's a social safety net for a reason. You get on it, but it was a point of shame. It was a point of, I got laid off at the factory, I'm trying to get back on my feet. Nothing wrong with that. But the idea that it became this thing where it's just like they just use it as socialism to be able to give everybody something, no matter what, if they're a citizen or they're not, or if they're able to work or not, they just get stacks of cash because the Democrats want to sneak in socialism behind the scenes.
4 years that President Biden and the USDA was overseeing it with Congress funding it. And you see now the downward trend since President Trump was reelected November. I say that because the astronomical costs of the SNAP program under Joe Biden was historical. It was unprecedented, and we don't have the same levels of funding that were there in the past.
Yeah, we don't have the money. The country's in a deficit. We're bankrupt. I think our interest payments on our debt is more than the debt than any other cost on it. We're gonna see hyperinflation in the near future unless we fix this. I think we cut all benefits whatsoever.
Interesting. You said some of the silver lining is we're getting to look a little bit behind the SNAP program. So we know that 20% of illegals are on SNAP, and that 59% of households headed by illegals use SNAP or some other.
More than half of them receive these benefits. And mind you, you search on Google and it says that they've never been eligible. That's the lie. Like, I have somebody that I know that is very, very liberal, starting to open their eyes because they're starting their own family, and they're starting to realize, like, oh my God, like, why do these people get these other benefits that I don't get? Like, they're on hard times, so they I believe they receive some sort of some form of government assistance, or actually they don't because the husband makes the bare minimum. But the idea that they don't receive all these benefits, and yet you're having people that aren't even supposed to be receiving it, but they're still under the misunderstanding that they don't, in California, they don't receive medical benefits. Like, they receive free health care. It's the largest expenditure the state has, and yet we're starting to see the lies unravel right in front of our faces. It's right on the government websites, right there. It's like, it's great. And then what is it? The Spider says, TDS survivor here. Yeah, at one point in time, if you really believed all the government lies, or the media lies, including what you see on Google, you would think Trump is this evil, angry person. But it's like, no, he just wanted to look into what was USAID. Why were we funding terrible people overseas? Why are we funding literal terrorism from Minneapolis, Minnesota, to go back to a country that's committing acts of completing acts of terror. We were funding that, but somehow the media wants you to think you're evil for trying to uncover this.
There are multiple welfare programs.
This is one of the first things we did when I walked in the day one of USDA, February 13th, is we sent letters to every governor in America being very clear that no illegal aliens can use SNAP. 0, 0, 0. We asked.
And why would they be angry if that was the new rule? 0, 0, 0. None of them should get it because they keep on preaching they've never received it. And whenever they're on television, they say they never received it. So if the Republicans are just confirming that, why is that an issue unless they were lying?
Every state for the first time in history, and this was in February, to send us their data and let us, with DOJ and a war room, actually start going through this data to better understand how this explosion of SNAP benefits happened under Joe Biden. We increased almost 40% on this program in just a couple of years under the Biden administration. Of course, we know
it was really bad. But the thing is, though, so Americans found out, like, first they were buying the tears and saying, oh my God, he's so bad. And then they see this and like, okay, look, they're treating them with respect, saying, here's $1,000. Then realizing they're receiving better benefits than American citizens. And now, from the New York Times openly saying, Joe Biden allowed many of them into the country temporarily. Again, temporarily, just losing them, letting them traffic kids, not knowing where they go, allowing them in temporarily as a way to incentivize them to avoiding crossing the border illegally. Yeah. Imagine if a store was like, you know what? People are illegally stealing our soda. Like, we just can't stay in business. So to incentivize people from not stealing our sodas, and this is a terrible analogy, I know, we're going to let you take it temporarily. Like, this makes no sense. He's like, no, they made it legal. They're not saying, oh, he made a way to temporarily incentivize them to not commit the crime. It's like, no, he just made it legal. And he said those people became eligible to work in the U.S., receive Social Security numbers, and in some case, receive federal benefits. Like, openly admitting. Receiving federal benefits. The lie that they keep on trying to tell you that they received that. It's in front of their faces. And also the idea that they were getting Social Security numbers. So basically, if they wanted to, they could register to vote. It would be a felony, I believe, but they could. But in most of the states don't have a system to detect if they register, if they're ineligible to vote. This is a massive issue. And remember, when Elon Musk took over Doge, he quickly discovered the insanity that is Social Security numbers aren't exclusive to individuals. Like, Decoy Voice's Social Security number is 1. You also can have the Social Security as 1 if you're Asabi, because we have different names and addresses. This is alarming because if there's no system to catch invalid voters in certain states, this invalidates the entire system. This had to be fixed. But again, they think you're a terrible person if you expose this. So I talk about how they kept on saying it was never a part of the system. They could never receive these benefits, and now they're angry that they're removing it.
Her assessment, do you agree?
I understand the frustration, but I actually think we're going to be able to work through this. One example of that is originally the not allowing SNAP benefits to illegal immigrants was bounced, and now that's back in. So I'm pretty confident we're going to work through these and get the savings that we want, make sure illegal immigrants aren't getting their taxpayer benefits, and ultimately still delivering on all the things for American families. I'm still hopeful.
Last month, you told a local outlet, Missouri Net, that you did not think cuts to Social Security, Medicare.
Yeah, so CNN exposing their audience to it, and now you're seeing this chart from, what is this, CIS.org? What is that? I'm gonna see. What is that? The Center for Immigration Studies.org is saying families receiving welfare. So this is their study. U.S.-born family households, 39%. Legal, over half. Illegal, almost 60%. The numbers aren't quite matching up with what Google wants to let you know. Because remember, they said 0. They said 0 never happens. Trump can't cut it if it doesn't exist. Well, obviously it does. Like, I'm almost laughing right here, but I shouldn't, because this is atrocious. But here's the thing. American citizens used to fall for stuff like this. Oh my God, look how sad it is. What did they tell the guy? What will you tell your, what will you say when you were enforcing border laws? And now Americans are leaning into this because they're sick of the idea of Americans being second, third, or even 8th at this point in time. But they're also upset with stuff like this. You see this some U.S. Actually, somebody here on a U.S. student visa studying at University of Pennsylvania, saying globalize the intifada. Like, this doesn't seem like a net positive to the country. This doesn't seem like somebody that wants to contribute. Why are we paying to subsidize this? Because isn't University of Penn a public school? Actually, let's see. Public or private? It's a private university, I'm sorry. But I don't think that we should be allowing this person in the country. I think this person should be sent back if they seem to dislike the country so much, wearing all this, waving this flag, disturbing the peace. You can peacefully protest. You can have your voice be heard. You have the First Amendment right if you're an American citizen. I think in places like Japan and especially China, American citizens can't go over there and protest their immigration rules. Like, they'll get kicked out. If you are all Palestinians, then I encourage you guys to go there. And I mean that sincerely, not even to be snarky. But here's the issue right now. Americans are sick of this. Like, this, I want to know your thoughts on it, because apparently he's wearing a pretend device. He's wearing a pretend device on his chest. Actually, I can't play that out. But he's protesting. He's got wires on it. And this was the Free Palestinian Political Prisoners. It's a recent protest, not this month, but it's somewhat recent. But you see this guy, very angry, wrapped in the flag with that vest on it. I understand he's trying to make a point, but honestly, this is terrifying to me. Like, in my opinion, and let me know yours in chat, what would happen to a NYPD copper if he saw this guy from far away? Maybe not necessarily. Actually, in this exact context. You have this man wrapped in this flag with this vest wrapped around his chest. You don't know what it is. You see him yelling. You see him charging. He's got these wires. What would happen if the NYPD copper, like, drew and ended him? You don't want someone protesting peacefully, apparently, to be ended like that. But honestly, like, as a cop, like, you don't have time to verify, hey, is this genuinely real? Like, this would be very concerning. It's like, and why would you even wear this in the first place? Like, how does this make your, like, peacefully protesting is supposed to make it so people that don't believe your position can understand it. They can hear the other side. They can have awareness of your cause. In America, especially New York City, the victim of the largest attack, how does this convince anybody? I think Americans at one point in time likely would have been sympathetic to the cause, but not like this. And I'm concerned at the idea of an NYPD copper, especially under the new mayor, finding themselves in the situation where they see this, they make a split-second decision to stop it, and then that copper goes to prison for the rest of their life because this was just a prop. Yeah, it is scary. And that's the thing. It's like, yeah, Mamdani defunding NYPD and replacing them with mental health workers because he lives in a dream world. He doesn't know what it actually takes to run the city. So people are upset over this happening in Brooklyn, New York. This is in their streets. Again, in the countries that are predominantly this religion, they do not do this. They don't do this in the streets. They do it in their mosque. Like, they don't go on top of taxi cabs. If you saw my video on the other channel, they don't go on taxi cabs to do this. Like, this is just a show of force. Americans are sick of this, and they're willing to accept this because they don't want their country to turn into this. At worst, the guy with the fake vest, or this right now. Because you see this over here. This is the UK. This is also the clip where the liberal protester said, "Hey, we're on the same side," and he says, "No, we're not." No need for that. We're on the same side, bro. And the guy says, "No, we're not." This is what the country's turning into very quickly. But you have someone like Piers Morgan. Some people I know actually thought Piers Morgan was a conservative because he has the audacity to push back a little bit. Like, that's the only inkling of conservatism you need to just call it the obvious. But here he is saying, he's okay with his entire country changing identity.
Why do you look at this and see a wrecked country? I don't.
Well, I don't see an English country. So we're in the city of London now.
What do you mean there? What do you mean by that?
It's not. Well, people whose ancestors built Stonehenge are not here anymore. So the city of London is 36% white, and that's happened in the last, 40 years.
But England is about 70% white.
England.
Yes.
Okay.
Now,
well,
London.
it was 99% in 1945.
Okay, so we've evolved.
But you're on the way.
Evolved. Don't know if that's the word he wants to use here, but he's perfectly fine with this.
To becoming the minority in the country.
So what? I love living in a very multicultural
But
city.
you're rich. I mean,
Exactly. All these liberals living on top, looking down, and I honestly feel the same way. Where it's like, I was able to move out the hood. Essentially, I was able to come out of it. It'd be easy for me to sit here and say, you know what, guys? Like, of course you need, to stop recidivism. Of course, you need to let people out of jail and never serve time if they commit crimes. Because when I walk outside my doors, I don't see the abject poverty. I don't see the crime rates. I'm not worried my car's being broken into every time I park it on the street. Rich people never see the issues. They just see of the people that have to live amongst the victims of the policies you simp for on television.
Rich, and you go to the
Weaponized
white parts
ignorance.
of London, they're exactly the same as they were when I was a child. I've been coming here for 50 years. They're exactly the same.
Why do you look at this and see a wrecked country?
And then here's the thing. So he later on, someone was calling him out saying, they replaced you and your home change forever because you talked about, like, I would rather have, at least I have yummy food. And then Piers Morgan actually replies to him, says, there's a lot of white English people I would happily trade for a good weekly chicken tikka masala. And the replies he's getting everywhere are, you already traded a couple white English people, because the faces of the individuals, or the kids that passed away in attacks from the diversity he was so clamoring for, because he wants a weekly chicken tikka masala. It's atrocious. And the idea that, you see this post is unavailable. I think it's because he blocked her for this reply, but I can still see the post. So this is genuinely the tikka masala post of that they were replying to. Atrocious, but facts. It's sad because you see this over here, like in Germany, outside the Christmas parades, and you see this a lot. Oops. Where they had to put barriers so people can't drive through the Christmas parades, ending everybody that goes there. This is not the only country that currently has this, and this is the sad reality where even I've told this story a million times before, but a long time ago, I used to work a job and I hired guys in security, and they'd be, like 18 to 25 years old. It's a good starter job while they're going to college. And I remember I hired this one young guy. He was from, I always try to protect his identity, but whatever. He's from Afghanistan. He sought asylum in Germany, and then he said, I had to leave Germany because he was Muslim, and he said Germany was becoming too Muslim for him. And he's like, yeah, he came from Afghanistan, fled because he didn't like it there, gets to Germany, it becomes too much like the country he fled, then he comes to America to flee that. The same way that I would say I don't think the Chinese government's good, I wouldn't criticize Chinese people for trying to flee China to flee the Communist Party. They want to become Americans. They want capitalism. Same way that guy wanted to escape the religious values back in his home country, tried to seek asylum in Europe, found out it became the same exact thing, and fled again. So Piers Morgan just says, you know what? I want chicken tikka masala. Or is that what he said? Yeah, weekly chicken tikka masala. He doesn't care what they sacrifice because he doesn't believe that, he doesn't worry that he's going to be the individual at this Christmas parade getting run over. Very, very sad to think about it. But here's the thing. They try to paint you for wanting this as some evil anti-immigrant person. But you see stuff like this over in Japan, where you have left-wing protests in Tokyo waving the same flag of individuals that are not welcome in any other countries that share their same religion. They're blocked. The left wing still exists over there. They want to open mosques. They want, I think, more burial sites over there because there's so many of them. But you see this over here. It's not anti-immigrant. It's always anti-assimilation. Like, you see this guy talking about why he protests. He's a white guy, and he joined the anti-immigration protests in Shinjuku.
移民反対デモに参加していた外国人にインタビューしてみた。
Okay, so
外国人としてこういうイベント参加するのすごい緊張しましたが、でも私も
he's speaking perfect Japanese, but he's saying, you know, Japanese people are by no means the type of people who hate or discriminate. As long as you learn Japanese, exactly. I think everybody here in this chat could be a MAGA conservative and never once at one point in time said, you know what? I like Decoy. I like the words he says. But he's a Chinaman, so we can't allow him in the country. Like, you would trade 1,000,000 decoys. Actually, not 1,000,000 decoys. You would trade 100 decoys, me, for sending away 1,000,000 of these Antifa types that just want wide open borders. You're not anti-immigrant. You're anti-someone that wants to come in here and change the country. They want to make it so you don't feel safe there, and obviously they can shove their religion down your throat. You're anti that. And here this guy's saying, hey, Japan isn't anti-immigrant. They just want you to enjoy Japanese values if you're coming to Japan. So I respect in Japanese culture. Everybody's incredibly kind. We're gathered here today because we simply love Japanese culture in Japan. That's all that they want. And I think that what's shocking about the MAGA movement is just they want America to be good no matter what, because America can be a melting pot if everybody's assimilating to the values that you came here for. Not, I'm fleeing something I don't like. Let me bring that thing over here, over there, over here, because I know how to run your country better somehow. Yeah, and that's the thing, is like, some people would be like that. They don't, you know, they're going to be anti-immigrant no matter what. But I would say that there's plenty of Americans that aren't immigrants that you don't agree with, that you know that they are systematically trying to dismantle the country and get rid of American values and is wide open. You want to get rid of them. The people that are just leeches on society, career criminals. It doesn't matter if they were born in the country. They're a net negative to everybody. You don't want them around. If you can have the best and the brightest engineer from South Korea, a top-tier surgeon from Nigeria, because we have a lot of Nigerian surgeons in this country, you have them come in here, embrace American values, and contribute. We want that. That's what makes the country great. You would trade 100 decoys for a weekly General Tso chicken? I mean, I don't think that I can be used as a form of currency. A little bit scary. It's just all about assimilation. Assimilation. Yeah, and the thing is, like, so you say you're against immigration because do it legally is dead when you see how many people scam their way here legally. Yeah, it's sad that you have a television show called 90 Day Fiancé. It's been around forever. It was like my guilty pleasure during the lockdowns. I was watching all of it. It's atrocious, but you can't look away from it. It's so bad. But there's a television show about people scamming the green card system, of like tricking these old lonely people into falling in love with them and then like divorcing them as soon as they meet their citizenship requirements. That show's just in plain sight and they do nothing to stop it. It's a hilarious show. Okay, no. Chris Tenshell is Say Poor Big Ed. If you feel bad for Big Ed, which I did in the very beginning as well, you can even just watch a YouTube compilation of what he did when he dated an American girl shortly after. I think Big Ed's a scumbag. I think that he uses somehow, what is the Rick and Morty thing where he talks about how Jerry, he's like a predator in the sense of he uses people's compassion to prey on them, to feel bad for them, so then he's like reverse predator-ish, whatever. Like, watch his other relationship with the next girl, how he decimates her, and then you'll understand why that other girl, the Thai girl, Filipino girl, I forget, Rose, why she wasn't in the wrong for dating him. I know we're talking about 90 Day Fiancé too long on a podcast right now, but you guys gotta know, man. You guys gotta know. You're a living Jerry. Don't say that. We're all not Jerry. What's Kristi Noem's latest tweet? Okay, I'll see. Let's see. Twitter. Kristi Wow. Gavin Newsom's. Wait. Christine, no. Let's see. What'd she just tweet recently? Just met with President. I'm recommending a full travel ban on every damn country that's been flooding our nation with killers, leeches, and entitlement junkies. Our forefathers built this nation on blood, sweat, and the unyielding love of freedom, not foreign invaders to slaughter our heroes, suck dry our hard-earned tax dollars, or snatch the benefits owed to Americans. We want them. We don't want them, not one. Here's the thing is, yeah, sounds like a base tweet, but how often have the Republicans just wag their fingers or had like a meeting in Congress saying, do this thing, bold? Like, I've seen a lot of snarky tweets from Republicans and not a whole lot of delivering on those stances. Yeah, all they do is yap. I'll have belief in them. I'll have confidence. I'll want them to succeed, but I'll never believe in them because despite what the Reddit will say about me, I'm not a Republican. I think that party's garbage, just garbage on behalf of political interests instead of Democrats being garbage on behalf of globalist interests. That's my take on that. Yeah, Reynolds. Yeah, the tweets are going to fix it. Yeah, the tweets do nothing, and yet we fall for it every time. Yeah, Tom Homan, the pit bull. Yeah, I have a lot of respect for Tom Homan, especially the idea that I don't think him and his wife have lived together since he's become the border czar. Like, it's too dangerous because there's too many threats coming down the pipeline to him. Scary times, but I mean, he is an American patriot. We need a patriot party. Yeah, hopefully it can be continued under J.D. Vance, but I'm not holding my breath. Everything I've seen so far makes me feel like he'll be the guy that'll pass the torch of America first, but you never know. You never know. But okay, over on to the fact that we may be getting into a new war. Well, you see this. The U.S. is keen on attacking Venezuela. They keep on sinking more boats. I don't even know if I can show this because they sank it, and I believe there was a couple survivors off this narco boat, and they sunk that too. Now they're saying GOP crimes against humanity, but Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of the Department of War. Then it's not the Department of Defense anymore. It's the Department of War. They say a classic Franklin story. Franklin targets narco terrorists. This is AI, guys, and here we are. They're even selling a shirt. I hate that. Okay, no. I hate this. This right here. This guy is a scam artist because he's going to try to sell you some garbage shirt that has nothing to do with the real thing, and he's going to ask Grok. But since Grok, you're following it, it pushes this to the top. Guys, whenever I'm not saying brigade anybody, but whenever you see someone doing a scam, you block them because that pushes them down in the algorithm. They're trying to scam you. They have nothing to do with nothing. It's just AI bots, probably people from other countries doing that as well. But yeah, the idea that you have Franklin targets narco terrorists. This is a thing, and it's got CNN. No, I'm sorry, not CNN. Democrats on PBS freaking out over this meme. It's a meme. He's saying, "Hey, look, if you're gonna bring in narcotics that's going to harm American citizens, we're going to sink you. You're an enemy of the state. We've classified you as a terror group." But here they are again, Democrats just simping for literal terror groups. Oh, wow, that's loud.
He's putting out.
Oh my God, it's still loud.
After Signalgate, he's putting out on the internet turtles.
Never mind, you can go to any major city in America and see people doing the fentanyl lean, people losing their lives, overdoses are out the roof. Remember, Gavin Newsom and Mayor of California, Governor Gavin Newsom, and LA Mayor Karen Bass tried to brag on the fact that homelessness was down. The numbers were down. But the only reason that the homeless numbers are down is because we had more homeless people. It's just homeless deaths from overdoses was outpacing the amount of new homeless individuals in the streets of Los Angeles. That's how bad it's getting. But this person isn't complaining about, hey, look, these narcos are bringing in drugs that are killing American citizens. No. He's upset about the turtle. That's the Democrats' real enemy here.
With rocket-propelled grenades.
Yes, RPG.
Have you seen this?
Yes, we saw it.
This is the Secretary of Defense.
Secretary of War. We don't use your language, guy.
This is not a serious person.
You're not a serious person if you're more concerned about a meme about a turtle protecting Americans than you are the Americans actually dying from the reason that this meme was made. But yes, you have over here saying, why are you guys more concerned with protecting their reputation or protecting the people that are out there to harm Americans.
And as I said before,
full stop. Do you know that
absolutely
it's not
Why
true?
would it be true? And then we know that the president, we know that the Navy or the Coast Guard has picked up survivors already and sent them back to their country. So now we're saying that they did it once and they didn't.
Well, they're talking about when they sunk the ship, there were a couple survivors. They made a rule, no survivors, so they ended those people too. Why would we save them and send them back to their country so they can try it again? They're saying it's a war crime, but honestly, why are they always taking the side of whoever's against America, even if it's harming Americans? Scary stuff.
Do it again? I don't believe this at all.
Okay. Could that be because a lawyer in the Pentagon said you can't do that again, and then they didn't? Then they actually listened the second time? Is that possible?
No, absolutely not. And I don't know why we're spending so much time on this. The president and the Secretary
He's
of
so
War
frustrated.
is very clear they're going to use lethality against our enemies, home and abroad. This has been
And they warned
very
them.
clear what's going on right now, that the drug organization that is considered a terrorist organization that is flooding our streets with drugs, that's killing Americans every single day, they're being proactive on it.
Where's the lies, and why is she so upset that there's no lies? It's about protecting Americans, protecting your family, because almost every American family has someone they know that struggled with addiction. It's terrible. You're finally starting to see somewhat of a solution to it, and it's almost like an eye-rolling thing. How dare they harm the people harming Americans? They hate America.
Good on them. Are we? And as I said before,
full stop. Do you know?
Yeah, full stop. Full stop. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? They hate it so much. But now you have The View, probably the worst take on it by far. Like, oh yeah, you send a rocket into a ship bringing in narcotics. There's a couple survivors. What about their rights?
I can't speak to the law of it. I don't know. I'm not a geopolitical expert.
You're not a geopolitical expert, but here's her take on what we should do in geopolitics.
But in terms of the law of it, you're right, Sarah. That is why the
law, oh my God.
Those Army vets explained, do not follow, you do not have to follow illegal orders. You know why? Because if this is deemed to have been war crimes, which by all accounts right now, there are 7 sources that said Pete Hegseth did say kill them all.
Yeah, 7 sources. Yeah, he probably did say it, but the idea that someone reposted this saying they're running for election somewhere. They're not even in a position where they could charge him, but they say, should I win my election, I'm going to charge him for war crimes. Yeah, they're going to try to put as many of them in jail as possible, potentially even like political commentators. But they say, he's committing war crimes, so you have to act against your own military. It's your own military leaders. It's getting pretty intense.
Even after there were 2 survivors, which you're supposed to do under international law, you are supposed.
I thought you just said she's not an expert, but what you're supposed to do. I haven't served in the military. I'm not in politics, but I'm telling the military how they need to operate.
Supposed to take those fighters as war criminals, prisoners of war, and you.
Are we at war or not? So what is this guy? If we're at war, we need to sink them. If we're at war, we need to get rid of invaders, bring in something to kill Americans. Are we at war or not, guys? This is an issue, guy.
You're supposed to give them refuge, and you're supposed to take care of them. And
it's gone from innocent people seeking refuge. We need to give them EBT cards, free flights. We need to give them everything. They've gone past that. It went to Maryland man. Yeah, he has some domestic violence charges against him. Yeah, there's footage of him probably, I guess, unverifiably trafficking humans. But he's just a Maryland man. He's innocent. We have to give him everything. Like, they've gone past that to actual, not even narco terrorists, actual enemies at war. We need to shelter them. We need to feed them. We need to give them resources. Like, that's how far the left has gone. Now, when Trump has since gone out there on Twitter and said, to all airlines, pilots, drug dealers, human traffickers, please consider the airspace above and surrounding Venezuela to be closed in its entirety. Thank you for your attention on this matter, President Donald Trump. So he's okay. Close the airspace. This is an act of war. This is an act of war to declare the airspace above it. Now, it looks like they've actually been preparing for war as they're over in Puerto Rico preparing for amphibious assaults. I guess it's just music or whatever. This might just be B-roll to prove a point, but yeah, they're preparing for amphibious assaults, but then over above Venezuela, it shows on the flight radar, it actually looks like people listened. It was just a tweet. It wasn't like a official declaration. He didn't go in front of Congress and ask this. It was just him tweeting, you know, talking trash over on the internet, and all of a sudden people are afraid to fly over Venezuela. It became a very real thing. And you see this over here. We're parking our warships outside their coast.
Breaking news. Venezuela's airspace has been closed off internationally as it appears that an American strike is coming within days. These are photos of the B-52 Stratofortress, America's biggest bomber, and these are photos that the U.S. has released off the coast of Venezuela. Right now, the only plane in the sky near Venezuela is an American spy plane. 20% of the entire U.S. Navy is near Venezuela.
It's getting real, guys.
And a second aircraft carrier has shown up alongside B-52 and B-1 bombers. This is the largest military buildup America has done since the Iraq War, and it is the largest naval buildup since World War II when America fought Japan. The firepower off the coast of Venezuela could potentially turn the capital into rubble within hours.
The one thing I saw about this is I think Tim Pool was talking about it's not necessarily about stopping the narco terrorists. It's apparently their dictator has made it so they have lots of oil resources they're sitting on top of. We want it. He's running the government so poorly, we can't get it. So we're going to free them, just like in Iraq, where they're saying this is the largest buildup since the Iraq War.
As the amount of explosives on these American ships is just mind-boggling. We do know that the CIA is operating in Venezuela right now. There have been routine simulated strikes from Puerto Rico with bomber jets toward Venezuela, and each time they veer off at the last second.
It's getting real, guys. Classic America, guys. Yep. But then, okay, you see this from military.com. Maduro's peoples were the asymmetric trap awaiting any Venezuela invasion force, saying, "Oh, look at their military. Look how well built they are. You know, the guerrilla warfare and invading force doesn't really have can't really invade a local resistance group." But I mean, you see this image over here from Wikipedia comments. Oh, this is from 2014. 2014. Their military looks pretty legit. But then you see this over here, where this is apparently Maduro and his generals preparing the possible amphibious invasion. So one thing, I don't know why they'd be in full tactical gear unless they were about to go out there and do something. Or is this just for the cameras? But also, why would you be posting on social media, hey, this is our plans. If you invade, here's our first 5 chess moves. Like, this is beyond parody. They're all kitted up, but honestly, I don't know. It's for the cameras. It's 100% for the cameras because they're stupid. It says, looks like the ceiling's about to give out. It does. They're not in good condition, guys. Okay, so I don't speak the language, obviously, but then they showed this conducting urban air defense training on a rooftop. And someone said, is this a potato cannon? It looks like a potato cannon. This is for the media. This is them, their top. They're firing it over their own city. Like, what is going on? You'd think a military exercise wouldn't be over one of their largest populated cities. That's a straight out old Soviet anti-air launcher. It's an empty city. Okay. This looks very different than this. But also, the idea they said, things are so bad in Venezuela, the country declared Christmas in November, and then they had politicians posing for fake celebrations, showing them eating plastic food. Look. Saludos, Tachi. Oh my god, that's so loud. She even took a fake bite. It's like I gotta turn that down. But how did they get this bad? These are the leaders having a Christmas feast. You would think in socialism, at least the leaders could have a buffet. But this is like me when I sat down with my nieces when they were kids and we had like a fake kitchen and plastic food. Like, oh yeah, nummy, oh, cook me up the burger in the microwave. We're kids, we're playing. Like, what? This is their leaders. How get that bad. I don't think they're gonna be able to stop the military. I think I had a video pulled up, but I guess I don't anymore of I think it was Al Jazeera telling Americans why it might be a bad idea to invade because, you know, it's going to be difficult or they're going to have a resistance force. I think that the war started the day that they showed up in kits and said, "Hey, this is how we're going to repel an assaulting force from America." Very, very scared. Yeah, there's sanctions. Yeah. Shock and Awe Part 2. Yeah. Guys, think about Christmas. Don't think about how much you hate us. Exactly. Yeah, it's dressed up make-believe, and that's a sad thing is the mainstream media will simp and cry for them all they want, but it's like, if they don't even have enough real food for their leaders, and they have to do photo shoots with plastic forks pretending to eat, I'm not saying America needs to be the world's police, but if anyone needs liberation, it's probably the starving country. Yeah, will this be a war? I don't know. I feel like it's going to be a very quick operation. It'll be done soon. Yeah, socialism is poison, and yet you had New York City saying, "Oh my God, there's a socialist dictator or a socialist, a Democrat socialist wants to become the president. Sign me up." Yeah, Venezuela's people hate Maduro. That's the thing with a dictator. You can't vote him out, despite what the Democrats want you to believe about Donald Trump. Dictators don't get voted in with the popular vote. Dictators don't peacefully leave office after winning an election. He's not a dictator. There are real dictators in this world. Yeah, you feel for the citizens at all. Is all. Okay. So it says, Caitlin says, the latest news that Maduro's asking to get immunity for him and his entire family and for the international, what's ICC, international something, to drop charges against him, even though the U.S. isn't the ICC. Yeah, he's trying to ally with our enemies to try to get himself some sort of immunity. But honestly, I don't think that they'll allow him in. Yeah, criminal court. It's not going to end well for him. I don't believe. But yeah, so okay. A sad story over out of Stockton, California. That's Northern California. Instigators plead for tips after 3 kids, 1 adult lost their life at a kid's birthday party. And it's very sad that there was a big shooting, San Joaquin County. I thought it was Stockton. Yeah, Stockton, California. It was a kid's birthday party. I believe it was at Dairy Queen. But the story gets worse the more you know about it.
Now, with breaking news.
Let this ring perfectly clear. In this community in San Joaquin County, violence of this nature has absolutely no place at any time, shape, or form, and children should not be harmed by gun and gang violence.
Tragedy.
Violence erupting at a child's birthday party in Stockton as a mass shooting leaves 4 dead and 10 injured tonight. The San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office leading the investigation, with the FBI now responding. Good evening, and thank you for joining us for Action News Live at 11. I'm Christina Lopez. We begin with that breaking news story. Reporter Vince Ibarra joins us from the live desk with the latest developments on this deadly attack.
Yeah, another mass incident. Let's see how they're classified once they realize who did it.
Well, Christina, this is still an active investigation, and there are several questions still unanswered, but the details that are coming in are chilling as they continue to search for a suspect. The San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office says there was a large family gathering at a banquet hall when shots were fired. This video is from the crime scene in that shopping area. The Sheriff's Office says they received calls of a shooting on Lucille Avenue near Thornton Road in Stockton a little before 6 this evening. That's when deputies discovered several victims. 4 died from their injuries, and 10 others are being treated in the hospital.
That's a huge shooting for 14 of them to get hit.
As of yet. The Vice Mayor of Stockton, Jason Lee, says this gathering was for a child's birthday party. The San Joaquin County District Attorney and Mayor of Stockton both have indicated that children are among the victims who died. That information has not been confirmed by the Sheriff's Office as of yet, but as this investigation does continue, the Sheriff's Office says it called on several other law enforcement agencies, including Manteca, Stockton, and as well as the FBI, with the search still underway for the person that opened fire tonight.
Right now, preliminary investigation suggests that this is a targeted incident.
Incident.
We do not believe that there is any any harm to our surrounding area.
So they're trying to make everybody else feel safe. Like, this isn't just mass violence for the sake of violence. It's a targeted incident. Why is it targeted incident? It's gang violence. It's gang violence.
And tonight we're also learning that Governor Gavin Newsom has been briefed on the shooting in Stockton. The governor's emergency services is monitoring the evolving situation and will assist as needed.
Yeah, how hard would it be for Governor Gavin Newsom to come out and say, you know what, gang violence is a leading cause of death, and now it's actually ending the lives of children at birthday parties? It's not that hard for him to say. That's an easy win to say, we don't want kids to die at birthday parties. Easy win. But if he doesn't want to talk down to gang members and say, hey, look, we got a big gang problem. Here's why my policies lets him out of jail early. It makes him complicit. So it's like, yeah, he needs to protect himself. So he's never going to call out the gang members for doing this.
But again, 4 people are dead tonight, including children. All of the victims are dead as a result of a shooting at a family gathering.
And here's the thing, it's like, so no follow-up on it, even though people found out it's actually some rapper, whatever, I don't care. Some Filipino rapper, I guess he has affiliation with Filipino Crips, Asian Crips. But it's like, yeah, garbage scum person, but you'll never see, or it'll be hard to, actually, you'll never see it. You won't find the Asian community standing up and saying, but you know what? Maybe he had a bad upbringing, or I don't want to see more Asians in prison, like that's bad. Or it's like, no, every Asian person out there is going to say, you were responsible for the deaths of kids, regardless of color, innocent kids at a birthday party. Throw them in prison forever, for no possibility of parole. Throw them in prison forever. You're never going to be a contribution to society. We're done with you. Forever gone. But for some reason, white liberals will see the other races do this and be like, you know what? You can't have too many of them in jail. Let's make sure we have cash as bail. Let's make sure that we overturn all these charges. Defund the police because sometimes the arrests look bad because people cry. Their kids come out and cry when we arrest them. It's like, you guys literally cause the deaths of kids. And you're too afraid of offending those that did it. This shouldn't be about race. This should be about law-abiding citizens and criminals. I don't care that we share the same ethnicity. I don't care that we may look alike. I don't care that if they're looking for him or one of the guys in the gang, they might confuse me for one of them and they'll question me or whatever. I don't care about any of that stuff. You need to stop the criminals from killing the kids. Period. And yet the left just can't admit it. Because you see this over here on Reddit. They posted the 4 dead, 10 wounded. And yeah, they're talking about it. It's like, oh, it's already shooting gang violence or whatever. But then someone over there said, I'm a mental health case manager who works in Stockton a lot. We're trying our hardest. Stockton is a rough town, very rough, drugs everywhere. We're trying to help those who can. Obviously, your mental health assistance isn't going to stop this. Obviously, when you have the assistant vice mayor begging the people that did it to come turn themselves in, this isn't going to stop it.
I hope that the people out there in our community make the right choice and contact law enforcement, call me, call the mayor, call whoever you know, call the pastors, call your friend, turn yourself in.
Wagging your finger at the criminals, murderers. I don't think that solved any crime ever.
Because at some point, the redemption for what you did is going to happen when you see the person that created you. But you can start that process by turning yourself in and doing the right thing today.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work, but here we are. They live in a dream world. Mental health case manager, wagging your finger saying, call your pastor, this is going to do it. It's like, that's not going to stop these murders. That's not going to save these kids. Only, sad to say, mass incarcerations of criminals is going to stop more victims from occurring in your society. That's the only way you can protect the kids. And here we have this over here from North Carolina, where we have a string of deaths that were 100% preventable. People with, rap sheets 72 arrests long. People that have been recommended to be removed from society because the DA says, you know what, this person's just going to reoffend again. And then the liberal judge is like, no, we can't, we can't keep them in jail forever. We need to let them out there and so they can harm the next person. But you have places just like Stockton, California, living in some dream world that they can somehow rehabilitate these literal people that shoot up birthday parties, that this is bad when they go to jail. You have Irina Zarutska's law saying no more cashless bail. You have to be more strict on people that have violent offenses. Here they are freaking out at the idea that people will actually have to pay for their crimes.
My thought is that we are bracing for Monday, as you do when there is a hurricane or a tragic storm that is coming.
A tragic storm. Violent criminals will get locked behind bars so they cannot harm innocent people. Is a violent storm. It's a tragic storm. They're bracing for violent criminals to finally be held accountable. That's how these people think. It's ridiculous.
A meeting of Mecklenburg County minds centered this week around the impending start of Irina's Law December 1st and the suspected jail surge that'll start with it.
We feel prepared.
If there's a suspected jail surge, your community isn't safe. Notice how they keep on saying our crime stats are down. It's never been safer in our city. But if we have to jail people that are arrested, we're going to have a surge in our jails. Again, exposing their lies.
For Monday. Now, when we say that, there's probably obviously going to be some hurdles along the way that we have to adjust to as we kind of roll into this new law.
The law restricts judges and magistrates from releasing violent and repeat offenders before trial.
How judges ever got that right, I'll never know.
Chief Judge Roy Wiggins gave the example of someone charged with first-degree arson. Judicial officials will now have to do more to grant pretrial release.
There's now presumed that no amount of money or no conditions of release will protect the public in that situation.
Mecklenburg County Sheriff Gary McFadden anticipates a significant strain on jail capacity and
then build more jails. If you guys can't get your community under control, doesn't mean, we have overcrowding. It doesn't mean that your crime is any less offensive to the public. It just means that, we don't have the infrastructure to take care of you. Doesn't change things. Overcrowd the jails then.
And its staff.
If you can find a policy that will help fill vacancies, and you find a policy that produces funding, that is what the sheriff needs.
County commissioners argue a problem with the law is that it didn't come with any extra money from the state to help local criminal justice systems.
We know that a huge part
no more endless cases, no more endless appeals. It's just make the system efficient again.
of the jail population does have mental health issues.
It does.
And so this is really something that we need to think about on a bipartisan basis. We want to be safe, all of us. And we need to do that by having...
I honestly wonder if they didn't need this extra money, because recidivism is a big thing. If they no longer, I don't know what it is over in North Carolina, but I think in Los Angeles at least, it was you serve 33% of your time. Overpopulation. So they serve 33% of the time, they're out, they reoffend, bogging down the court system over and over and over. What happens if you just say, okay, instead of charging this guy 72 times on his second arrest, not even 30 strikes, on his second arrest of him being violent, the guy that set that girl on fire over in, oh my god, I'm forgetting her already, but the guy that set the girl on fire, if instead of 72 times tying out the justice system, getting appeals, getting a public defender, just a second time he was in jail, 80 years. Would that be more efficient to our justice? Would we even need extra money if we didn't have to constantly retry these career criminals?
Having the resources
Charlotte, thank you,
to
Charlotte.
prevent tragedy.
And Irina's law does not include, or does rather include, money for 10 additional prosecutors.
Wait. She said the money they... Here they are again lying. Oh, Irina's law didn't give us any money. No, they gave you 10 additional prosecutors. So it did. It did or didn't. Or they're just lying to say, you know what, the general public is too ignorant to know about this. They see me as a subject excerpt matter, so they just believe my lies. Just like how the mainstream media, for far too long, were just known as subject matter experts. God, it's hard to say that word, that phrase. You just believe them, but now they've totally just invalidated their opinions over time.
The county district attorney's office. The district attorney says that he hopes it's going to clear at least the backlog that they're dealing with when it comes to criminal cases. So more updates to come.
Yeah, they got a backlog. That means that they should have been locking these people up for a long time. And someone said mandatory, Wolf Lives Matter says mandatory repeat offender time add-on. No, I think no 3 strikes, 2 strikes. Convicted once. Hey, look, there may have been mitigating evidence. There may have been mitigating reasons as to why you committed that crime. Let's get your life together. We don't want to see you go down this path. You commit a crime again, obviously you don't care about laws. You've been breaking the law between your first conviction and your second conviction. We're done with you. Exile. Like, honestly, I'm very, very big on law and order because I've seen how soft on crime policies can destroy your community and make it impossible to move forward as a society. Like, if you're always worried about you getting your car broken into, or you're always getting set back financially because people are bipping your cars, or they're smashing the window out of your car to steal what they think is in a backpack, but they're just checking. You can't really move your life forward. Or even like small stuff like the Waymos, those little cars that drive themselves. Whenever there was a anti-ICE riot, the first thing they did is destroy those. They set up fire to them. They broke their windows. Here's a company that's just trying to bring humanity into the next evolution where robots can now be our taxi drivers, literally changing the course of history. And because we have idiots that just can't help themselves but burn things down when something happens politically that they have no comprehension of, it holds back humanity as a whole. We got to get rid of these people. They got to go in jail. They have to be sequestered from society. I'm not using that word for the sake of alliteration. Whatever. Yeah, send them to other countries. I mean, what's the country that it was agreeing to take our prisoners, like, or if we're deporting them, and they saying I'm seeking asylum from my own country. It wasn't El Salvador and CCAT. It was like an African country that said, hey, you pay us money, we'll house them all you want. We're not going to house them at all. We're just going to kick them out on the street. But if you have a repeat violent offender that is afraid to go back to their home country because they're illegal, they will take them somewhere in Africa. I believe the Maryland man is being sent there. Sudan? It's not Uganda. It's not Nigeria. It might be Sudan. It wasn't El Salvador. It's not CCAT. Then we're not sending them to that extreme jail. Might have been Rwanda. You actually might be right. It wasn't Somalia. We weren't sending them over there. It was a harder to say word. Might have been Sudan, Rwanda, Kenya, no. But yeah, just the idea that it's like, if you don't lock up prisoners, violent prisoners, you lock up society because they're just going to be out there and amongst us. So, in other news of people breaking the law, you have this Twitch streamer over here, because now we're on Twitch, but you have this person, if you're not aware of her, she's her name is Nina, I forget her last name, but she's a Twitch streamer, but she got her start from being on Side Talk NYC. We'll show you that in a second. But after assaulting men, you have her over at Target. I guess I need to make this smaller so you can see it. But she have her over at Target streaming after being suspended for assaulting guys on multiple occasions, stealing from a self-checkout line.
GG's. It's GG's, bro. It might really be GG's gang. This right here.
Here she is buying a steak and then putting the cheese in front of the steak, I think, and scanning the cheese, complaining about the pricing of it.
No.
Yeah, I guess they're going to break it down, but yeah, they put a stick of butter, not cheese. They put a stick of butter over the barcode, doesn't scan that, but she's advertising to her people, this is how you shoplift from a store. And apparently she was criticized for it, so here she comes out back later on, not like just straight up saying she doesn't give a fuck.
Oh, no, he's wildin'. I'm telling you, bro, even if it was the steaks, bro, yo, bro, ain't nobody missing no fucking money, bitch. Calm the fuck down. No, Target is not losing no type of fucking money from
I'm telling you right now, there's a reason why Targets had to shut down their self-checkout lines. Like where I lived in LA, even like the nicer Target that I had to travel a little bit to, that Target had a self-checkout line for maybe a month, and they had to shut it down because there was so much rampant stealing. Now I've moved to a nicer community, and the self-checkout lines are they're super frequent, or no, sorry, not frequent. They're super easy to use. You check out super fast, and it's a major convenience because I live in a higher trust society now. And she's saying Target isn't losing any money because too many scumbags like you just believe, oh, I'm the only one doing it. The problem is she apparently has 3,000 paid subscribers on Twitch that follow her, where she's probably telling a lot of people how easy it is to steal from Target, and you just have these people saying, LMAO, yes, now that she mentioned it, ha 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 emoji.
steaks, bitch. Ass fucking bum ass steaks. I don't give a shit.
Oh,
Nash, I put this on Twitter too. Your mom's a bitch, you was a bitch, and happy holidays. All you hoes is bitches. Go.
And the thing is, though, so here she is, not carrying it. I got these. It's free 99. She got something else. Like, she just brags about stealing. But here's the problem is, you don't expect her to be anything other than this. Because if you weren't aware, if you type in Side Talk NYC Truck Girl, she had multiple videos like over and over of her being this reoccurring character. Like, I don't want to play this whole thing. You're going to lose some brain cells. But this is her claim to fame. This is what made her an internet personality.
Yo! You want your side talk? Suck my dick, bitch! Suck my dick!
This is why she... This is what made her famous. This is what got her 500,000 views 4 years ago.
Oh, fuck the quarantine, bitch! Got me fucked up. I ain't staying the fucking side. I was out there every motherfucking day. What's good?
The sad part is... maybe I was part of the problem. I thought this was hilarious. I thought it was funny because I thought she was playing a role. But she's not. She's really this ratchet.
Man, de Blasio, get my ass, bitch!
Your voice has been subject to a lot of controversy. People are saying it's fake. What do you want to say to him?
Man, let me tell you something.
Nah,
Suck my
real.
dick. I've always been sound like this, bitch. What's up? What's up? I ain't broke. I don't ride no damn bitch ass MTA. Look at that shit. Real New Yorkers, we ride fucking
Okay,
trucks.
I can't.
Feel me? Grip that bitch.
Turn it off. Turn it off. Okay. But yeah. When you platform someone like that, you can't be surprised when they spend their time shoplifting from Target, encouraging their viewers to shoplift from Target, and seeing it as no big a deal. Because when Twitch has somebody on their platform that assaults a guy on multiple occasions and causing lots of controversy, like a lot of bad press for Twitch. Like a part of the reason people say, "Oh, why is Decoy at Decoy on Twitch?" is because they're attached to Amiru being assaulted at the TwitchCon event and Nina assaulting a guy with somebody else and only receiving like a day ban. Like what is the issue where it was Asmongold's buddy, I forget his name now, I always talk about him, but Asmongold's buddy calls a girl a mean word, gets banned for 2 weeks. Nina actually assaults somebody for gets banned for, I believe it was like a very, very short ban. I forget what it was, but yeah, it's insane to know that this is what their brand will become. They can become the platform of, oh yeah, Decoy. He comes on here, he has moderate takes, he talks politics, he tells his audience to tone it down, and if anybody's in the chat trying to be extreme, saying, we need to take back the country. No, that's a fed. Tone it down, guys. We're being regular, we're being moderate. You can be the face of that. You can be the face of the Roach King, playing some video games, that Korean dating simulator, and having moderate takes as well. They can become the face of that, or they can continue to not ban your Ninas, to not ban the guy that assaults Amiru. They gave him like a platform ban for a year, or for 30 days initially, and also allowing Hassan to break rules for however long he's been on the platform, allowing him to do that. They have there's a fork in the road, and they need to choose quickly because that is forever going to be a stain on their platform. Like, who's the top other streamer? Like, Amiru is a top female streamer, and she's best known for right now being assaulted. The other top streamer they have, I forget her name, but she's like in their same network, OTK, I believe. She's just known for like violating traffic laws. Like, what was it? She blew a stoplight while live streaming herself, and then she was driving. She was test driving a vehicle, and on the way back to the dealership, she blows a stop sign. Constantly violating traffic laws on stream. Twitch needs to get a handle on it. Whether it is banning driving while streaming, that's an easy rule to implement. Even AI can detect that. Or banning people that are just committing crimes on stream. It's not that hard to do, and you ban them forever. Sad to say, it's like, how much of a benefit are these people that are bringing people on your platform? Like, you got to think about the risk cost analysis. How many subscriptions are they benefiting from on keeping Nina on the platform? How many ads is she running compared to how much is it going to damage their reputation forever? Answer should be similar, but not until yeah, you guys are getting it right. Yeah, probably it's the CEO's got to go. Oh, Extra Emily is Dan Clancy's favorite. I think that guy, I don't know much about him. I just got the rumors. It's what it is. But yeah, over in Santa Monica, we got a kind of a scary situation going on over there where all of California's outreach to the homeless almost seems to be a scam, and now people are disappearing.
The mysterious vans on luxurious Ocean Avenue moving dozens of people into a new, seemingly secret, sober transitional living facility just before Thanksgiving.
And these pop up in rich neighborhoods. This is a rich neighborhood. That's the reason I left Los Angeles. I was living in an area that was kind of okay, was teetering on bad, getting worse as it is. And then my a copper that I knew said, hey, you still live on that intersection? Move out. Within a year, they're building something worse than this. It was like not a halfway house, but one of those homeless living facilities. The same one where the guy that ran up and got Dave Chappelle, he used a device on him on stage. And then somebody said, oh, I live in one of these homeless shelters. That guy was my roommate for a while. Stabbed me too. And then we didn't have any information on him. That was a facility they built next to me. It's crazy how they just sacrifice entire blocks by just opening up one of these little facilities.
I was completely shocked.
Santa Monica's mayor is stunned by images of people living at the controversial building, the same building that 2 months ago had been slated to become housing for those with severe mental illness.
Senior living community got turned into one of these like pseudo halfway houses, and the mayor doesn't know how it happened. I call foul here.
Transparency until intense neighborhood pushback forced LA County to pause the project.
Yes.
While I was there, a van pulled up with about 10 more individuals. Made me more concerned that nobody could answer what the name of the place was and who was in charge.
Did they speak English? I wonder.
Where were these people from?
One I asked was from Alabama. Another one was from Virginia. I said, oh, did you drive here by car? And they're like, no, we're flown in.
Neighbors fear what they're seeing isn't a recovery operation, but what's called body brokering, a process where people struggling with addiction are recruited, sometimes from out of state, and funneled into insurance-funded programs for profit. Is this a legitimate concern?
Yeah, because the homeless industrial program or complex is a real thing. You can make a nonprofit and say, hey, I got 100 homeless people I'm helping. Build a facility like that for millions of dollars. Get government subsidies. Not no bid contracts. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. But you can become this person that is helping the homeless, fudging the numbers on how many homeless people you're helping, and just bring them in. They don't know what the fuck they're there for. But then you just make money hand over fist because California wants to solve the homeless problem. So we just give them blank checks to do it, even though people are actually being trafficked in Santa Monica.
The possibility of body brokering happening here?
It's unfortunately all too common in sober living practices where folks are brought in.
So they know it's an issue. It's all too common. So you eliminate the program. It's not working. It's being scammed, and yet they just can't turn away from it.
From other states and offered money, and they utilized their insurance to get money for them to come in through the program, and it's exploiting a vulnerable population.
Looks like it's empty.
And it's also exploiting the vulnerable population, but it's exploiting the taxpayer. We spent billions on fighting homelessness, and all we have is more homelessness. And someone said, paying themselves $150K a year, if not worse. Like we did the video about in, I think it was Portland, Oregon. They were like, hey, the news brought on these people that have a program in Rose City, about helping homeless women. And they came through decked out in Gucci saying, there's no homeless industrial complex. Like, we're just out there helping women, but we only help them from the hours of 9 to 5. And we give them things like emotional tapping. We have a nurse that comes through every now and then. That's rare. But also, look at me, I'm decked out in designer clothing. We're not the homeless industrial complex. It's ridiculous.
At the moment.
By Sunday, the more than 40 people who had moved into the building last week were suddenly gone after city inspectors declared the property unpermitted and unsafe.
I think everybody feels it will happen again.
But residents worry this isn't the end of their fight on Ocean Avenue.
It's amazing to me a developer or a private housing company can have a city playing cat and mouse with the city, like they're actually winning. They're filling places full of people, and the city doesn't know about it, and then they got to get reactive and pull the people out.
Because they know about it. It's part of the plan. It's trying to push regular people like you out of town so they can reclaim it. It's a travesty.
It's Santa Monica.
So for now, this building is supposed to stay empty, but many people are wondering if that's what will happen. Reporting live tonight in Santa Monica, Matthew Seedorf, Fox 11 News.
Matthew, any clue where those people were taken or?
They don't care.
Where they've gone?
Yeah, and that's what some people are wondering. I know one of the locations was a location in Thousand Oaks, but again, it's kind of all
just kicking it up the street. I imagine they just got kicked off in the street. They're living on the beach right now.
happening very secretively, and a lot of people are wondering where they went.
Yeah, the secretive part, that alone is sort of questionable. All right, Matthew, thank you so much.
Thank you, Dame Son, for the Prime subscription over on Twitch. But we have a little bit of information over here. I did on the street interviews like one period of time. I guess type Y in chat if you want to play a little bit of this. It's a long video. We won't play a lot of it, but I want to highlight the one guy that talked about the housing vouchers they got. But Y in chat if you want to see a bit of this, and if you just want me to move to the next one. As a Decoy struck me as a Christopher Walken type. Okay. I mean, yeah. Okay. So yeah, just to play a little bit of this, because I had talked to the people in Santa Monica, because this used to be the skate path. This is where I spent my youth skateboarding every summer, even in the winter, late at night, 1 in the morning. It was amazing until it got a little bit too dangerous, and like the girls that we would go to just didn't feel comfortable, and I didn't blame them for it. But the idea is, this used to be a paradise, and now it's not.
Oh, I came here just a few days ago, so
okay.
My presence probably made everything better, and they cleaned it up.
I am dirt poor. Okay, I got fired from 3 jobs this last year.
This guy was hilarious.
Concerned about COVID? Honestly, yeah and no.
Hey, this is Decoy.
So this was around COVID times, right when they were saying you didn't have to wear masks outdoors. So here's me, Decoy Squad, longtime buddies. We go out there, won't play this whole thing.
We're over here in Santa Monica, as you can tell with the pier behind us right now, but we're going to be doing a little bit of longboarding and one-wheeling from Santa Monica all the way over to Venice, because we've heard that it's gotten pretty gnarly over there, and we want to see if it's actually as bad as what they say it is. Is there transients everywhere trashing the town? Are they going to terrorize us and approach us? Because this is where I grew up. I know the paths. I've been up and down this over here when I was just on a skateboard.
And look how lively it was when me and my buddies would go out there and skate. Like, this was a tourist spot, and since then, it's just become a shell of what it used to be. Yeah, man bun beard Decoy. That was a thing.
I want to see if it's really as bad as it is. See if some of these guys want to talk to us and just explain to us what they think happened, why they're here, or what gets them out of this. So I brought my buddies.
Beard game strong? No, not quite. We're not gonna have a pity party about my patchy beard, but yeah, no.
Here, we're just gonna check things out and see what's going on.
We're just gonna talk to people, friendly people. Hopefully they don't like spit at us or try to throw something at us.
And the sad part is, this is my buddy. He's been on the show a couple times. He's from Nigeria, and maybe he had his English is much better now. But back then, like, he didn't know much about Santa Monica. But all he knew is, if we're gonna talk to homeless people, we might get spit on. Like, that's what he already knew. That's what he already knew.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you know what? Just like Decoy here, I grew up here in Los Angeles. I kind of got to see the deterioration of Venice. It's been a long time since I've been here, so I'm excited to see how it looks now.
All right, so let's go check it out.
Cool. They cleaned it up.
They cleaned it up?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
They cleaned it up, man. They gave everybody houses, or you know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah, places to.
Because remember, Santa Monica was just non-stop homeless people every single place. Like, you couldn't see at night a spot of the city, or not a spot of the bike path that just wasn't covered in tents. And now he's saying no, they just gave him free housing. Well, thanks for the Prime sub.
Stay. If they didn't want a place to stay, then they're out here still.
Oh shit.
But other than that, it's pretty cool.
Did you go with them to?
I got me a house. Yeah.
Oh shit, you have a house?
Yeah, I got a house.
Oh, nice.
This is why.
At the time, 2 of the 3 people in my crew are living in tiny apartments, and you have a homeless dude. You know, props to him, maybe bettering his life. You know, you want to see people succeed, but how much did our tax dollars contribute to giving a whole bunch of homeless people houses? How many of them got houses? I'm so upset, guys.
In Watts? Yep. Okay, so they relocated you. How'd they bring you over there?
The rent is not as high as it is in Venice.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But I wish I was in Venice. My homie got one in Venice.
Yeah.
He got a place in Venice. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, like $1,800 a month.
Okay.
Oh, wow. $1,800 a month, but he gets a voucher for it. I think at that point in time, my rent was probably like $1,000 a month. I was, struggling. Like, I got furloughed at my work. I was having issues, guys. I was not going to the barber. Like, you can tell when people are hipsters and they get a beard and they get a man bun because it's cool. And you can tell when someone gets a beard and a man bun because they're not going to the barber anymore. I was having issues, and I'm talking to homeless people, No hate on them. Like, no hate on them directly. I hate the system. But it's like they're getting houses in Venice, beachfront property for $1,800 a month for free because my tax dollars paid for it.
You have to pay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it was a voucher, so he pays like $64.
So like they compensate everything else and then just kind of keep you over there. Yeah.
Wow.
So you think it's just like what made you want to go there as opposed to just kind of staying out here in Venice and hanging out?
Well, it wasn't that I wanted to go.
Yeah.
But I checked it out first, and
So he was cool. He was cool. He gave us a lot of information. We wanted the next guy.
Yeah, we used to be around here like a lot before, and there's a whole bunch of tents, and all of a sudden it's all gone now. What happened?
Somebody said something about like a big government grant, like $8 million, like
shit.
clean the beaches or some shit like that.
And that's exactly what happened. And remember, LAPD did nothing for Santa Monica. Not LAPD, I'm sorry. Santa Monica PD did nothing for the city. It took the LA sheriffs, who's someone that's elected by the people, to come out there and actually clean up the block. And then I think even the Santa Monica city got upset with the sheriffs, like over outshining them and cleaning up the city.
And like the police and other entities came and said clear this shit up.
That's cool. Yeah. All right. You think it's safer over here now?
Yeah, it definitely is safer.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing though. It's not like a people thing. It's just that where there's more people, there's more crime.
With like tourism and stuff like that, they want to bring that stuff back so they can make more money?
No, I'm just saying in general, where there's more people, there's more crime. But with like poor people, with people.
I said that when I said bringing back tourism because on Venice Boulevard, there used to be this giant building. There was a freak show, like a literal freak show, like a circus act. That was a big prime real estate, and then it got turned into a Starbucks. So I was like, yeah, there's a gentrification. So they got to get rid of the homeless people if they want to have a Starbucks.
The ocean front is extremely rich people and extremely poor.
Turn out that thing.
How about that?
What's up, man?
This random dude rolls up on us.
No, it's all good.
What is his accent? Let me
They
know.
want it real anyway, so you did a good job.
Yeah, man.
But no, like extremely rich people mixed with extremely poor people, things are gonna like. Poor people are gonna steal shit from the rich people. Rich people are gonna not want to be around the poor people.
I'm poor.
I'm poor
I
too.
won't steal shit, okay?
I'm poorer than him, and I won't steal shit.
am dirt poor.
What accent is
I got
this?
fired from 3 jobs this last year. I'm doing weed marketing on the boardwalk now.
Yeah, okay. I don't even know if I can play that. But yeah, he was out there trying to slang to us, and we're like, nah, dude. Chill.
Just read it up. I'm not going to recite the whole thing, okay?
Okay, yeah. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I think you heard what I said misconstrued. I didn't say I was poor.
Yeah.
I just said like he said.
But yeah, okay. So here's why I wanted to pull this up, because they say they brought in people from other countries, or not other countries, from other states to pay for them. What is it? Yeah, he's probably Dane, I think. Yeah, you're right. But this guy comes out of nowhere. He's who I want to talk to.
We used to be around like Santa Monica and Venice and stuff, and it's entirely different now, man. What happened?
May you repeat that one more time?
Like Venice is different now. Like what happened? It's all clean. There's nobody over there anymore.
Oh, but is it how long has it been better?
I don't know. I just got here today.
Oh, what? How long ago? How long has it been since you've been here?
Maybe like 6 months.
Well, I came here just a few days ago, so
okay.
My presence probably made everything better, and they cleaned it up.
Okay. I can respect that. Where are you from?
I'm from California, but Los Angeles.
Los Angeles? Okay,
yes.
So you came from downtown.
I came downtown hospital.
Downtown hospital?
LA, City of Angels.
How'd you make it over here? Like the bus, the train, or?
Train.
Train? Okay.
I forgot that when he says, but he's not from the area, and I'm wondering if it has to do with something like this, where they brought in some people that are having some issues in life, and they're just using them as warm bodies to get government funds inside their area. Like, we can play this forever. This video is long. I think that it's in my playlist if you want to watch. Like, I mean, this guy was pretty interesting. We talked about it for a while. People seem to like it, but it's very hard to get together everybody. We all have jobs and stuff to talk about stuff. But yeah, it's interesting to know that I did that video. How old was that video? That video is 4 years old. It was released on October 12th, 2021. And it was it was probably the same issue that we saw in Santa Monica recently, where they brought in a whole bunch of people from out of state to use them as bodies so they can get government funds to treat them, but they don't even know why they're there. Like that guy that was talking to us, he either was a little bit handicapped or maybe he was under the influence of a substance, but I honestly don't know if he knew where he was or what was going on at the moment, whether it was substances or just mental health issues. But nice enough guy. Like, I didn't feel like I was in danger by a random dude barefoot walking around at 1 a.m. in the morning in Santa Monica Pier on the beach. But something is amiss. That doesn't happen in a vacuum. You can't have a guy that was barefoot without a shirt in downtown Los Angeles in a mental hospital somehow makes it to Santa Monica for reasons unknown. It's likely our tax dollars. Yeah, he said they cleaned it up for me. I mean, that's the thing is, like, you know when they're dangerous and you know when they're chill. Like, that guy was a chill dude, but a lot of them are not. And thanks. Okay, so like, how long have we gone? Going for like 2 hours. I usually go for 2 hours. Let's see. We got some stuff about Minneapolis. We got some stuff about prices. Now let's go ahead and check out Nick Shirley. Nick Shirley is like an award-winning journalist now, so it's pretty amazing. But Nick Shirley went over to Minneapolis. Like, I think it's the capital of Somalia in America, and it's kind of scary what happened to him.
What's it like being a Muslim here in the United States?
I'm not speaking English. Only one Somali language.
What does it mean to you to be a part of Islam?
I don't know. I'm not speaking English very well.
How are you? Do any of you speak English? English? No. Can women speak on camera? No.
And this is what American liberals are ushering into the country. Non-stop import from this. And again, freedom of religion. I'm bigger on that than most. If they want to live like this, by all means live like this. I just don't believe that American liberals, progressive liberals from New York City, college-educated women, know what they're getting when they say, let's vote this in. Again, if some girl that grew up in some part of Texas goes to NYU and just totally changes up their values and becomes a very staunch Democrat and wants to end up like this, by all means let her do that. I just don't think that they realize this is what they're doing.
I kept going because I wanted to speak with some more of the elders here to see if they could share their story about coming here from Somalia and how they've seen the rise firsthand.
And the thing is, like, this Nick Shirley's just being courteous. He's being nice. Like, they try to portray him as this evil alt-right gotcha journalist, but it seems like he just goes out there and says, hey, I want to talk to you. Like, let me know your side. He doesn't lead them down to something. He's never trying to be like, I've seen some of those on the street conservative journalists that they say an antagonizing question just to make the guy look stupid. I feel like he's a very, very level-headed young man, but they get very angry at him just saying, I want to learn more about your culture because you want America.
However,
Hello.
none of them spoke English.
How are you? Can I ask any of you guys some questions? No? Speak English?
English no.
No? Do any of you speak English?
After a few interviews, somebody came up to us angry because we were asking people about the rise of Islam inside this
My name
community.
is Nick Shirley.
It's very polite. It's just talking about the rise of a religion. It's a thing. There's news articles about it. We should know what's going on in the city. And this is a positive thing for America. Like they say, they're the backbone of our community. Why not take this opportunity to talk to like Nick Shirley's 200 or 500,000 subscribers and say, this is why we're a net positive to your community. This is a good thing, right? If this is genuinely what they thought.
What are you doing?
My name is Nick Shirley. I'm a YouTuber. We're doing a video on the rise of Islam here in the United States.
The rise of Islam.
Yeah, it's the #1 converting religion.
The rise of Islam. Make it make sense for me.
Yeah, it's the #1 it's the #1 converting religion in the United States. So we're doing a top
Oh, the
subject on it.
#1 converting religion in the United States.
It's like the #1.
Okay.
Why is he taking offense to it? It's like, if this is a fact, and if you are of this religion, you should be proud of it. Oh, yes, there's more people coming to our views because it's pure, because it's right, it's just, it's the way we should live our lives because we have superior values to other religions. If he genuinely thought that, why is this offensive to him to know it's the most converting religion in the country? Why is he offended by it?
Growing religion. So
Wait, isn't it after Christ?
No.
What?
Isn't it after
Christianity's
Christ?
in decline, I believe.
This guy wouldn't show his face on camera, and this conversation kept...
And he's being polite. He's not shoving the camera in his face. Obviously, the guy doesn't want to get recorded, so they're being nice about it. It doesn't have to be. It is still America. He can record somebody in public.
going for a few minutes, and he demanded that we deleted the footage of the interviews that we took here on the street. I said no, and he said, you better go and we're gonna make sure you leave. I've never been in a situation like that while I've been filming.
And keep in mind, this guy goes to like war zones. He goes to third world nations. Like, he's been in bad scenarios, but I think he said the most dangerous places he's been in where Antifa's protesting, and likely this now.
Where somebody comes out of nowhere and wants to take the footage. I was watching a video prior to this video, and there is a Somali gang war going on here inside of the apartment complexes, apparently. I think we just went upon a gang, and I didn't know that they were a gang. And right now, he said, you better leave, and we're gonna make sure you get out of here. So right now, there's somebody following from behind.
And it's sad. I wish the guy had like ample security. No shade on him for leaving if they say, hey, we're gonna make you leave. Like, he's there. I think he's by himself. He might have a camera guy. But yeah, props for him being there in the first place. He's being brave for that. But I wish he had like a small platoon of able-bodied individuals where he could really test them to see, are you really going to make us leave this area, or are you bluffing? And if they do force a journalist out of the area, the American public should know what's actually happening in I almost said Somalia, in Minnesota.
Making sure that we get out of this place. Not the most friendly welcome here into this part of Minnesota.
And he genuinely scared. So when they ask the senator over there, well, yeah, I believe it's the, Amy Klobuchar, she's their senator, right? Am I getting that wrong? She's not their congressman. Let me Google search her. Can I even? Yeah, the senator from Minnesota. Perfect. I'm illiterate, but not an idiot. But here they are saying on CNN, hey, there's gang wars happening over there. What do you have to say for it? You represent the state.
Streets. Every state Does Minnesota have a problem with gangs roaming the streets?
We just saw it with Nick Shirley. Let's see if she can address it other than biting her lip.
Every state has a problem with crime, but what the president has done here is taken...
Every state has crime. Yes, every state has crime. It's a reality. She's asking about a specific crime occurring in your state. What do you have to say for it? Can you protect your people? And her response to every state is Donald Trump. Donald Trump has nothing to do with the Somalian gangs in your city, and somehow it's about him.
A horrific crime that occurred in Washington, D.C.
And mind you, know that the majority of crime is intraracial, meaning if I'm a Korean male, it's more likely I'm going to be a victim of a crime from another Korean. Blacks and blacks, Mexicans and Mexicans, Somalian. So they are victimizing primarily people of that setup, of that ethnicity. So if you have more Somalian gangs, you have more Somalian victims. So for her to say, hey, look, is there a huge issue? Not necessarily Somalian crime, but Somalian victims. Are they being affected over there? And your knee-jerk reaction is, F the Somalian victims. This is about Donald Trump being negative. You've lost your city.
D.C., where one beloved Guard member is still struggling for his life. Another was shot and killed. And the perpetrator, the murderer, is behind bars and being prosecuted. He took that case and then he went 2,400 miles away to Somalia.
Because we had to figure out why it happened. If you have somebody that is getting out of jail 72 times and is able to light a girl on fire in Charlotte, you don't say, okay, we need to stop guys from going to the gas station on film, on camera, and filling up a bottle of gasoline to go to the train station. You don't stop the crime right there. That psychopath took shots at our National Guardsmen. You don't stop it at that individual. You say, okay, how'd he get here? Or was it Operation Allies Welcome? Well, were they really vetting it? You open it up to try to make certain we don't have more victims of it. And they say, okay, were there other lapses in who we allowed in the country? It kept on going out more and more and more to find out that in Minnesota, there's a huge fraud problem. There's a huge crime problem. Why would you say, you know what? The National Guardsmen, the girl, Beckstrom, should still be with us today. It's a tragedy. But you know what? Let's stop trying to figure out how we can prevent the next one when we can give Donald Trump points. This is atrocious.
And somehow indicted an entire group of people, 80,000 of them in my state, as well as later all naturalized citizens, 24 million people.
He's not talking about all naturalized citizens. He's talking about naturalized citizens that hate this country. If you're out there saying we need to do a terror attack, that's not someone we should denaturalize. If you come in here and say, I'm never going to work a day in my life and I'm just going to leech off the system, we should be getting rid of that. If you're not a net positive, why do you have entitlement to my resources? And she's getting all bent out of shape over this because she's making it about race, not necessarily about the people, the content of their character. He's not going to unnaturalize all citizens. I don't think he's going to unnaturalize me at all because I'm trying to be a positive contribution and assimilate to Western society. He's going after the, you don't want to, how do you say this? PG-13. He's going after the people that are a net negative on the country, and somehow she's trying to put that person and me in the same category. If anything, that makes her racist, not Donald Trump.
In the United States of America, this is what he does, and he tries to stoke division and make people hate each other.
She's trying to make this about evil Donald Trump, not about the actual reality of what's happening over there. Because, yes, Minnesota has issues. The former candidate for vice president has now been exposed for allowing rampant fraud from a certain country, over $1 billion being sent over there, and the press secretary is blasting him for it. So it's like, this is not a good day for Democrats in Minnesota, and also not a good day for just Americans in Minnesota.
About how Somali immigrants in Minnesota have been ripping off American taxpayers. In fact, 86 people have been charged in a rampant and widespread fraud scheme spanning multiple programs in Minnesota. Of those 86, 78 of those people are Somali, 91% of them charged. So far, 59 of those people have been convicted for their roles in fraud plots that have stolen $1 billion from taxpayers. In one scheme, and this is egregious.
How did you get to $1 billion? Because remember, it was them claiming that they needed benefits for having autistic kids. How come they never looked into it? And we're going to find out why.
A nonprofit and its affiliates with these Somali migrants claim to have fed tens of thousands of American children during the pandemic. They were reimbursed for those meals by taxpayers. However, federal prosecutors found that almost all of those meals were never even delivered to hungry children. In fact, those organizations' leaders spent the money on houses, luxury cars, and real estate in Turkey and Kenya. About how Somali.
And they said, okay, here's a laundry list of all the fraud that occurred. And they said, you know what? It's racist to call it out. Major issues. And the fact that he tries to, when is this NBC calls him out for it, it's even worse. It's about Trump. It's never about, hey, look, this is why it happened. Here's a person I fired as governor. Here's how we're going to stop it again. It's just no orange man.
Well, speaking of the Somali community, President Trump is targeting them and your state in part. He's citing fraud as the reason for his crackdown.
If fraud's occurring, you go after it. Why is that a racial thing?
Dozens of people of East African descent have been charged, convicted, and sentenced for stealing more than $1 billion.
Yes, that's why they're doing it.
Money from government programs during COVID. As you know, Governor, that is more than Minnesota spends each year to run its Department of Corrections. So I want to give you a chance to respond to this. Do you take?
Why isn't he more offended about this? Why isn't Tim Walz seeing this fraud and saying, you know what? This is ruining my political career. I can't believe this happened to me and my Minnesota residents. Why isn't he working on behalf of the victims, the Minnesota taxpayers, and not the criminals that did this? Like, it almost seems like he's already siding with the people that defrauded him because maybe he was getting a kickback.
Take responsibility for failing to stop this fraud in your state.
Well, certainly I take responsibility for putting people in jail. Governors don't.
He didn't put anybody in jail. These are federal charges.
Don't get to just talk theoretically. We have to solve problems. And I will note, it's not just Somalis. Minnesota is a generous state. Minnesota is a prosperous state, a well-run state. We're AAA bond rated.
If it's a well-run state, why'd you give away $1 billion to another country more than what you spend on your Department of Corrections? If the answer is Trump, oh my God.
But that attracts criminals. There's a reason Minnesota ranks as the top, lowest childhood poverty, best place for children to live. People are taking advantage of that. They're going to prison. They haven't
gone to local prison, they're going to federal prison. This is Trump's doing, and you're calling him a racist for doing it. So you're trying to simultaneously say it's a bad racist thing to lock these guys up because they're Somalian, but also look at all these guys I lock up.
That is totally disconnected with demonizing an entire group of people who came here fleeing civil war and created a vibrant community that makes Minnesota and this country better. But that's Donald Trump.
The vibrant community of not allowing journalists to walk. Where did the clip go? That doesn't allow their journalists to walk around freely without the fear of a local gang ending him.
Deflect, demonize, come up with no solutions. He's not going to help fix anything on.
Wait, is the alternate projection right there? He's not coming up with solutions. He's deflecting. So it was. Is he going to go after more the because this isn't the only people defrauding a state. I wouldn't be surprised if there was another $1 billion found to go to another country over there. So is he looking into this and going to prevent it from happening again? Who is he firing? Who is he changing up? What is he going to do to make certain it doesn't happen again? Or is he saying the issue is we're too giving, guys. We're such a great state. Criminals love to live here, but Donald Trump's a racist. This just makes me feel like it's going to happen again. He wants it to happen again because he's saying, oh, all he does is deflect and divide. That's the only thing he offers, because if you look at this over here, you got The View running coverage for him. Like, he's not going to learn if he's going to lie and say, I locked him up, even though those charges were federal. And now The View with their shoe-sized IQ is out there trying to parrot those talking points.
Tim Walz over Somali Americans in Minnesota who were convicted of defrauding a COVID-era government program for hundreds of millions of dollars.
Good.
He called the governor a slur for people with intellectual disabilities. And here's what Tim Walz.
And here they are, freaking out because Donald Trump used the regarded word. I'm saying it's regarded, highly regarded. You know what the other word Trump used? It's rude. But they're more upset about the word regarded than the $1 billion we sent to a warlord in that other country. They're more upset with the fact that the Department of War used a Franklin the Turtle meme on Twitter than the millions of Americans that will suffer from overdosing, death, and addiction. Their priorities are all about Orange Man bad, not protecting Americans, and it's becoming very apparent.
Responded.
The seriously blank governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, does nothing, either through fear, incompetence, or both.
Using that term is just so damaging. It's hurtful. We have fought.
You cannot be the commander-in-chief if a mean word offends you. Disqualifying.
3 decades to get this out of our schools. Kids know better than to use it. But look, this is what Donald Trump has done. He's normalized this type of hateful behavior and this type of language. And mainly, look, at first, I think it's just because he's not a good human being. But secondly, to distract from his incompetency.
I think there's something wrong with him. Absolutely, sure. You don't think you have a problem with it? You know what? I think there's something wrong with him.
Well, so here's what's interesting, because if you're upset about fraud,
they're more the regarded word, serious, stoicism, fraud, fraud. What a silly word, guys! What a silly word. We're more concerned about mean words.
In 2018, a judge ruled that you know who had to pay $25 million due to his fraudulent university. In February 2024, a New York judge found him, his sons, and his organization liable for fraud. Then 3 months later, he was found guilty on 34 counts of fraud in relation to his paying off of Stormy Daniels. And
weren't they just sued for defaming him about this case? Or was that a different case they got sued for? You can't keep up with these guys.
This weekend, he commuted the sentence of David Gentile, a private equity exec who was convicted on defrauding thousands of investors in a $1.6 billion scheme. Now, look.
So if you have some liberal federal judge that will charge him with this, whatever. We know they've been using lawfare on him with the whole thing with the appraisal of his New York City building with whatever the case was in Georgia, I'm forgetting now. But none of these sent $1 billion of our tax dollars to Somalian warlords. So miss me with that.
look, if fraud is wrong, you gotta catch up with everybody. You know, this is, you know, Tim Walz said, I put these people in jail.
Yeah.
Wasn't like we sat around and didn't do anything.
He didn't put him in jail. The feds put him in jail. Tim Walz called Trump a racist for putting him in the jail and is bending over backwards to run coverage for him.
And the horrific
What's up, King
part
Pix?
is,
Good to see you here.
why is he painting all Somali Americans with this paintbrush?
He's not painting all of them. He's saying we got to look into them. He didn't say eliminate all of them. He said, okay, stop the immigration from these countries, third world countries. We're obviously not vetting them well. And we obviously aren't after one of them literally ended the lives of one of our National Guardsmen in D.C. That's not racist. That's just saying, let's look at it again. He's not saying send them all back. He's saying, let's relook at all their green cards. That's me as I believe it's called naturalized. I forget what my citizenship status is. I just went through it right now. But them saying, oh, they're going to relook at people that are naturalized. I'm not worried about that because I love America. I'm trying to produce, I'm trying to produce in this country, and I'm also trying to be a net positive to everybody and also assimilate. Not worried about that. But these people are so racist, they can't tell the difference between a person that comes in the country and wants to become a America-loving contributor versus people that want to become perpetual leeches and say, I'm never going to even learn the language. That's where their racism is right now. But the sad part is, the mainstream media has been known to just go bending over backwards for them no matter what.
Midwestern dad, like super clean cut vibe.
Everybody likes
right?
Tim Walz.
Everybody likes Tim Walz. It's like he was the weirdest person ever. The whole waving like this all the time. Him saying, hey, I'm going to fix this car. I'm wearing my $5,000 Hamilton watch. I'm fixing a classic car. My hands are pristine. They're clean. There's nothing wrong with them. But I know how to fix a transmission. Oh, I carried weapons of war in war. Here's some stolen valor. Like, Tim Walz was the by far worst candidate ever, but the Democrats couldn't run the senator. Was it senator? Governor Josh Shapiro or Senator Josh Shapiro? I forget. They couldn't run the other guy because he was of a religion that the Democrats currently were protesting. Very sad to know it, but here's the media trying to push. Oh, yeah. Tim Walz saying he's friends with school Essers. Worst candidate by far, and here's the media just bending over backwards to support him.
So plain spoken and relatable. As moderate and independent as it comes. Pretty moderate Democrat.
I always knew him as a moderate.
Moderate. He was the one calling the state flag racist, so he made the state flag more like Somalia's flag. That's not moderate. That's the most extreme version of the Democrats right now. Become the identity of another country. That's what is this? Whoever this guy is, the Massachusetts congressman calls a moderate Democrat. If the governor that wants to change a state flag to another country's flag, if that's what the Democrats call moderate, I don't want to know what the extreme version is.
One of the most moderate, very moderate record.
A new moderate. I think
They got their talking orders. They got their talking orders.
Moderate.
Far from progressive.
He's right down the middle. He's not just an old white man.
Tim Walz speaks American. You know, talks like
he does not talk like American, like middle of the road. Like, remember that weird kick he did out there when he was waving everybody? They said he's like, the foil to J.D. Vance, someone that actually was deployed to a war zone, someone that actually is, I would call him a moderate American, someone that does embrace other race. Like his kids are biracial. His wife is I forget where she's from, but yes, he is what the modern day American is. Tim Walz is like a weird, like, concocted puppet of what they think Americans want. Just like what they think that what black voters wanted was Kamala Harris, an Indian woman that has nothing to do with the African American experience. No roots are from Africa at all, but they're saying, oh yeah, she's the first African American to run for president. They said that in her campaign stop over in Atlanta before they had someone go on stage and yell body yada yada while they shake their butt with other girls. That's what they thought the Democrats voters wanted.
a regular person.
Tim Walz is the opposite of weird.
Walz is basically younger Joe Biden. Regular old.
They said he's like younger Joe Biden, as if being a younger Joe Biden made anybody want to vote for you. Because you even remember, the Democrats ever loved Obama. What did Obama call the Joe Biden? Like a dumbass or something? Like, he did not like Biden whatsoever.
out there.
Populist approach to fear on the Republican side, and the happy populism.
Happy
that Tim Walz
What is
is on
this?
the ticket. On
Oh, I remember
the
that was when they were running on Joy. Oh, Kamala Harris seems like she's intoxicated. She's running on Joy. Joy, oh, because Trump is so mad. It's like, no. Nobody wants to see our political elite running on Joy when they can't afford bread. They're so happy. They're so happy-go-lucky. It's like, no, Americans are upset with the way things are right now. We demand change, so they're going to run on Joy in some weirdo named Walz.
Democratic side.
Walz is a kind of happy warrior.
Happy warriors. Happy warriors.
He's a stolen valor. He's not a warrior. No, I won't say it.
He was certainly the happy warrior last night and seemed to be the happy warrior last night.
A happy warrior, folksy backstory, are going to be very happy warriors.
There is a new happy warrior.
Following the kind of happy warrior mold.
Happy warrior mentality.
Okay, I can't take it anymore. Here's them just bending over backwards for Walz, but I think it's finally over. Honeymoon's done, because now you even have the New York Times saying how fraud swamped Minnesota's social services system on Tim Walz's watch. Prosecutors say members of Somalia's diaspora, I don't even know how to say that word, a group with growing political power, were largely responsible. So here's the New York Times doing the alleged racism, where they say, hey, there's a group that votes for only their people, gets them in office, and when they get into Congress, they say, I represent Somalia first. Yes, they are a small group that's growing political power. They're taking over cities. They're violating local ordinances by playing their call to prayer at 5 a.m, and yet there's nothing they can do because their local sheriffs say, hey, look, I only in Somalian saying this, I represent Somalians, even if you're not even in the country. That's how it's gotten. But then they say, President Trump has drawn national attention to this scandal amid his crackdown on immigration. Yes. This is usually the opposite on New York Times or left-wing media. The headline would say, Trump draws attention on his scandal amid his crackdown on immigration, and then in the very the 8th paragraph it says, how fraud swamped Minnesota social services on Tim Walz's watch. No, it's the opposite. Headline is fraud under Tim Walz's watch. His career is over. But the crazy part about this is they say Minnesota's attorney general caught on tape pledging to help Somali fraudsters in exchange for campaign donations. Yep, I'm willing to bet right now it was all because he wanted campaign kickbacks. I think Tim Walz is part of this, and that's why they're so desperate to protect him. Just how the rumor was a certain country that has a red flag and a what was a dictator that goes by the code name 11? I know, whatever. A dictator over there owned Biden. That's why he never would want to look at anything over there, because they control them. That's why Governor Gavin Newsom goes over there to play hoops with them and makes an ass out of himself and only cleans up the city when that president or that dictator 11 comes to visit us over here. I think they have dirt on him. I think Tim Walz was protecting them, helping them, and if he ever decides to come forward and say, you know what, let's arrest all of them, the money trail is going to go right back to him. Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I kind of feel like we could get to the super chats, but we get it's X1. I'm not saying a certain president from a red flag country. I don't know why, but I feel like a certain platform is pumping the brakes right now. But yes. Okay, let's go ahead and... Yeah, that's the thing. Didn't Walz go to China for his honeymoon? What was the deal with that? The Pooh? Yeah, Pooh Bear? Yeah. But real quick, I want to talk about this person over on r/McDonald's over on Reddit said, Facebook reminded me of our late night McDonald's order from 2012. Look at this. This screen's not touchscreen, it's just back in the day. But a McDouble was $1. Chicken nuggets, $5. Free sweet and sour. So this person had barbecue, sweet and sour, barbecue, 1 creamy ranch, all free. I feel like I went to McDonald's and I wanted an extra sweet and sour sauce for my 20-piece McNugget, and they're like, yeah, it's extra. And I'm like, fuck, what happened to this country? But then they said, medium Diet Coke, large French fry. This is like food for like 5 people, and it was only $32. And they say, the $5 20 piece McNuggets now $10, $1 McDoubles now $3, $2.50 large fries now $5. All the prices is more than doubled. But you see this over here from a Waffle House menu from 2009. I'm so upset. I eat so terribly, but looking at this, oh man.
And listen, if anyone tells you that inflation isn't that bad, that the prices aren't that high, that like, oh, things are not as bad, bro, this is a Waffle House menu from 2009. An all-star meal was $5.99.
I'm gonna start wigging out, guys.
$5.99.
I think when I was at a fancier place near the ocean, and a meal like that was like, I think it was $30. Like, I think I got Eggs Benedict. It was delicious. It was probably like $22. It was probably easily like 2 meals for me, like with leftovers. But the fact that back in the day we could have fed ourselves for $6, and remember, minimum wage back in the day was probably like $5. I think when I started working, maybe it was $8, but minimum wage now is like $13. So you mean to say prices have more than prices are like tripled essentially, actually quadrupled in some spots, but minimum wage hasn't even doubled yet. Yeah, we're in trouble, guys.
The $7.80 was crossed out.
So someone said, Jameson says, our Waffle House is still cheapish, not too bad for the All-Star. But the thing is, though, so I just looked up because I don't live near a Waffle House. All-Star special, $13.85 today, when back in the day it was only $6. And here's the thing is, if you order from wafflehouse.com to get delivered, you know they're going to give you a service fee, a delivery fee, gratuity. Like, there's going to be all these things on top of it. That $13.85 is not what you're walking out with. But all of these prices, classic waffle, $5.70.
Because that was expensive. $7.80 was expensive. $5.99, that shit got you.
Remember, this was dine-in restaurant. This was like, as I was a kid, I remember Denny's was like the big thing. And then later on in life, somebody took me to, what's that thing, Dine LA, where they'll have like steakhouses and like really expensive things for cheaper prices. And I was like, yeah, to me, Denny's is dining out. And then I go to like this high up in like restaurant and I feel super out of place. I was like, no, this was luxury back in the day. And $6 for the price of that.
2 eggs.
Denny's Grand Slam was $5.
Toast, grits or hash brown.
Was a waffle.
Your choice of biscuit and gravy. I don't even think that they have with the fucking sauce. $9.
He's so upset. He's so upset.
What the fuck is...
This is going to keep on going. I thought he was going to show the waffle, but no. Prices have skyrocketed, but the one good thing at the end of the day is, look at this. Gas is $1.82 in Colorado.
The gas is $1.82.
I guess I can't play the music, but yeah, filling up your gas tank for $15.98. Going to the, like where I live right now, every gas, even the cheapest gas, $5 at least. And now in Colorado, $1.82. I know if I went over to Arizona or Nevada, just happening over the border because of all the rules and the taxes California has, prices go down by $2, but just under $2 gasoline. It's becoming such an issue that even CNN has to run stories on a Donald Trump win.
This morning, some states seeing gas prices below $3 for the first time in years.
No, some states are hitting $1.82. This was like what gas prices from my childhood. So even then they're trying to lie about it.
Let's get to CNN's Matt Egan for the good news on this.
Yeah, absolutely. It's nice to finally be here with some good news on the cost of living front. So for the first time in 4.5 years, gas prices are averaging $3 a gallon nationally, according to AAA, down by 7 cents.
In California's messing up that average.
Gas prices were low a year ago as well, but they're even cheaper now. This is encouraging to see because late last month there was a period where gas prices were actually higher this year than last year, but that has reversed again, and now we've just fractions of a penny away from breaking below $3 a gallon. Now, as you mentioned, we've got 20 states across the country where the
lowest level since 2021. Wasn't this like Donald Trump's economy that was getting wrecked by COVID, and then Biden gets in office, destroys gas prices, says we won't drill, blocks that what pipeline was it? Nord Stream pipeline's the one in Europe that we may have blown up. What's the pipeline that came down from Canada down to Florida? The one that he blocked? I forget. Chad, no. You guys are all sharing these good gas prices, but no, I don't have those good gas prices. The Keystone XL pipeline, yeah, he blocked that. It's not crude oil, but it's something that's going to reduce energy costs.
Average is actually less than $2.75 a gallon, including North Carolina, South Carolina, Texas,
not even labeling
Iowa, Wisconsin, and
that's how stupid I am. I was like, they don't even have Colorado highlighted. No, there's Colorado right there. I just don't know that the state of. I'm not cheating. I swear I'm not cheating. Utah exists? Good God. Okay, wait. I'm gonna play this. I gotta check if that's Utah or not.
Colorado as well. Certainly nice to see this. Why is this happening? Well, it all comes down, of course, to oil prices,
it's Utah.
Right?
God, thank God.
Oil prices are about $59 a barrel this morning. If you look back in history, on December 1, 3 years ago,
I am
we
from
were
Utah.
$81 a barrel for oil, $67 even last year. So significantly cheaper, and that's because right now, supply of oil continues to outpace demand.
Imagine if we take over Venezuela, get all their oil refinery, get all their oil. Gas is going to be like 39 cents again, guys.
It's U.S. supply. Production in the U.S. is at all-time highs. It's higher than last year, but only a little bit higher.
In California, seeing like all-time highs of gasoline prices because Newsom destroyed all the refineries. One of the five refineries blew up, and I don't even think that we allow them to rebuild. So we're about to have issues over here, guys.
OPEC is the big story, though, right? Saudi-led OPEC, they are ramping up production substantially this year. They've signaled that they plan to pause those output hikes next year. But for now, look, this is a good story when it comes to the affordability crisis. Gasoline, it's relatively cheap.
All right. Well, good news for now, Matt Egan. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John.
Yeah. Nothing to do with Trump, even though it's likely a lot of his doing. But I mean, yeah, that's absolutely wild. I need to see if... I think we checked last time. I would like to move away. Okay. I would like to move away from California, but since I have so much family over here that I feel like at least I think I'd want to see the youngest of my nibblings is my nephew, and he's still got a lot of years until he goes away to college. So I feel like I got to stay around here at least until they go to college, because when I lived in LA, I wasn't that nearby my brother and his family, so it's like, yeah, I was there for certain events, but it's like, it's nice to be nearby and able to, like, you know, go to all my nieces and nephews' events as much of them as I can. So I think I want to be nearby for that. Let's see. Yeah, so Arrow gifted 5 subscriptions. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Jay Bird and Neobox Truck gave me some bits over on Twitch. I really appreciate that. If you guys haven't already, if you guys know how to do it, if you have Amazon Prime, you don't follow anybody on Twitch, like, this is gonna look weird, but head over to twitch.tv/decoy. Oh, this is throwing me off. It's like a speech jammer. But go head over on Twitch, and if you can give me your Amazon Prime subscription, because you can subscribe down there. It doesn't cost you anything. You just give me a subscription. It's like $5 a month for me, but it costs you nothing. It's just like, you know, Amazon Prime money, but it helps support the channel. So if you can do that, I don't know if there's any other way I can see if there was other super chats over there, but let me go ahead and head over to Decaf Decoy over on YouTube, because I do know that we had super chats over there. Oh, thank you for subscribing through Prime, D. Bagalo. Thank you for that. That was cool. So really appreciate that, for just immediately getting on top of it. If it's too much trouble for you, don't figure it out. It's fine. I can survive without it. Oh, thank you, Throne204, for subscribing with Prime. I really appreciate that. Yeah, if you guys can't help with that, that's really cool. Let's see. So, super chats on YouTube is... There we go. George Oswald says, more viewers than iDubbbz. Unfortunately, I think that, you know, he's such a legacy guy. He probably still has more viewership than me. Because right now, if the numbers aren't incorrect, I think I got 800 on YouTube, 40 on Twitch, 29 over on Kick, and then Rumble. I don't know. Like, let me know, chat. Do you guys have on Rumble? I think I have like an absurdly high amount of views, but honestly, sometimes I wonder if those are, you know what I mean? It says I'm live to 1,200, but honestly, I never know. I never know if those are real or not, because I know like TikTok will mess with your viewership to keep you on the platform, so I'm not certain. But yeah, HL says soy decoy for the IG will trick the Redditors. I mean, possibly. I'm trying to get decoy on everything. Like right now, where's the? There you go. I'm decoy on Twitch, Kick, Rumble. Hopefully, I'll get decoy on YouTube, and hopefully, I can get decoy on Twitter and Instagram. That'd be pretty cool to, like, you know, grow the channel and then just take that name and just become that. Be like Prince, you know? Well, not exactly like Prince, but you know what I mean. Yeah, George Oswald says Caleb gets shit all the time. He can't be canceled. Yeah, because he's based. Like, Caleb Hammer isn't gonna cater to the woke mob. Like, I just saw him talking about there's this K-pop group that should be the K-pop group that the left loves. They're called the Cat's Eye. No, I like K-pop. I'm not a fan of this group, but they're the one that has all of the races. Like, they have all these people, a lot of Americans, a lot of people from different countries. So they're very diverse for a K-pop band. One of them said something positive about Stranger Things, but apparently one of the Stranger Things persons has an opinion about a war overseas. So now she's getting canceled because she likes Stranger Things. And it's like, Caleb Hammer's like, what the fuck? Like, why would you ever... She doesn't need to... She's a singer. She doesn't need to be up to date on all the geopolitical views on everybody that that's on the show. But the audience is freaking out. And then Caleb says, look, if your audience, your fan base is freaking out about that, you have the most toxic audience ever. And I think that it's sad, but it's like, yeah, the Cat's Eye had a song called Gnarly. So these songs are built over like months, probably like a 6 months to a year before it gets released, because there's a music video too. They record something that says something positive about Tesla. I forget what it was. Since the music video is produced and written or whatever, Elon Musk helps Donald Trump, buys Twitter, becomes a conservative political figure. The audience was freaking out. Don't you know the political climate about Tesla? Oh my God, you support Elon Musk. Like, they keep on having to apologize for it. It's like, because yes, sadly, K-pop listeners are the worst toxic environment ever. Oh, appreciate it. Ponyboy Curtis saying, meant to donate a few streams ago. Appreciate your work, Decoy. Thank you. Adams Adana says, your recent Japan immigration video showed young James being assaulted in Kabukiyo. He explicitly said not to let your guard down there. You framed it like he downplayed what happened. I mean, you watch the video, he downplayed what happened. He said, I still think it's safe here. Like, if you're literally getting assaulted out there, it's not safe. Like, he just got roundly assaulted by a guy that apparently he didn't know. Maybe there's more to that video I didn't, but no, he was downplaying it. If you don't get assaulted in the open and say, hey, it's not safe here, I was doing nothing, I was actually talking about how this is safer than America, and some random guy decks me in the back of the head, don't go there. He's saying, oh, keep your head on a swivel, and it's still safe here. It's like, no, you're downplaying it. You're downplaying it. Because the sad thing is, though, is there's too many. Like, I think the young James guy is a cool person. I'm just defending my point here of saying there's too many people that are able-bodied men that a large, I believe that guy was Nigerian that hit him, a large Nigerian guy can deck you in the back of the head and you're not going to get a concussion. You're not going to be forever scarred and have PTSD for your life. Because if this was a small woman being assaulted, even a small Japanese woman, or a smaller Japanese man being assaulted, that person, that could have been life-changing forever, where they don't even want to go out in public anymore. And for you to say, hey, it didn't impact me, I'm okay, I weigh about as much as that guy, so, you know, just keep your head on a swivel, it's still safe here, is not being genuine. HL says, who put it out? George Soros, of course. Yeah, I think the what was the thing? The protest. Overmotor says, thank you for your amazing videos. The people are tired of emotionally charged narratives. DEI, ICE, Gaza, Venezuela. It's also tiring. It's so tiring that it's just always the most recent thing. Like, you can tell if somebody is into, you know, Free Palestine. I can almost to a certainty, if they have a lot of Free Palestine stuff on their Instagram right now, I can almost for a certainty say, I'm going to scroll back, and by the time they started their Instagram, you know that they were against pro Kamala Harris, against Donald Trump. You can keep scrolling. Oh, they were about getting your vaccine. Then they were about, make sure you mask up. Oh, you got to be masked up outdoors. Oh, we need to slow the curve. Oh, Donald Trump is bad again. Oh, James Coney, he's taking over parts of Africa with kid soldiers. Like, you know, they just get their NPC programming and shove it out there. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They don't know the intricacies of this, but every single time something comes out in the open, there's suddenly a subject matter expert. I know everything about vaccines. I know everything about overseas wars. I know everything about masking. Like, it's tiring, but it's fun calling them out. Cream Monarch says, how in the simping for central planning economics communism is bad because women are too busy starving when they could be... What? Will You Teach Me says, you're my top 1 million Asian list. I mean, there's billions of us, so if I'm in the top million, I feel like that makes me in the top 10 percentile? I don't know how math works. Greg Warner says, for the Rooftop Protector Fund, quack quack MFers, thank you so much for that. The media claimed Walls as an alpha male. Yeah, the fact that they kept on trying to make him a masculine male, Stolen Valor Walls, lets you know they know nothing about masculinity. Will You Teach Me says it's not fair that PvP servers are exclusive to Democrat cities. I mean, they're everywhere, but the thing is, though, is PvP... No. You're thinking Democrat cities have PvP cities, but they don't. They just have, like... What is it where you don't have a way to fight back? Like, they put the enemies on God mode because you're not allowed to carry, but they carry because they don't care about the law. Texas would be a PvP city because the criminals have 2A and you have 2A. You have constitutional carry in some of these states. So it's like, no, that's the real PvP area in my belief. Let me see the other platforms to see if I got, guess I can check if I got super chats over there. I don't want to not include anybody. Oh my gosh. Think on Kick. See, there's Kick. How do I even check this? Channel dashboard. I'm streaming right now currently. Thank you, Asobi, for starting the poll of his Tim Asian. Where is the... Doesn't even tell me. It just says chat engagement. I've gained 2 cents for chat engagement on Kick. Appreciate that, guys. Here's my stream panel. My gifters. I don't think it says. I think weekly top kicker Sir Burrow, John Jones, or not John Jones, Jay Jones. I don't think it even tells me the kick people. So maybe I haven't gotten donations over there. And don't donate to me either. You know, if you guys are just hanging out with me over there on that platform, I appreciate it. And then one more platform to check, and then I'll check that real quick. 2 cents will become $2. Yeah, I just got to put it in. Oh my God. What? Why is this just playing? I don't like that. I don't even know how to navigate this side. I know that there was a, I got super chats over there. It's funny on Rumble. I never was like really uploading over there. So there's like a small amount of cash just sitting there for a payout, but I'm like, I don't need to do that. Where's the live streaming? It doesn't tell me if there's like super chats or anything, right? Chat. Not Jim Jones, it was Jay Jones. Yeah, on YouTube you might be unsubscribed because it's at Decaf Decoy, not Decoy Voice. So maybe that's what it is, you know. Let's see, finally monetize chat settings. Now we're just echoing endlessly. Let's see. Live chat. Okay, so thank you, DD, for your super chat saying, hello, enjoy your content. Have you watched other personalities like Razor Fist, China Uncensored, Don't Walk, Run, or Drone Tech? No, I've heard of China Uncensored. I probably have watched China Uncensored and liked his content. I've heard a lot about Don't Walk, Run, but not the other two, so thank you for that. Oh, thank you, Tox, a lot for becoming a monthly supporter. I really appreciate that. And then Book Track Loves for saying cheers for the super chat. Thank you. I know there's going to be more super chats here. But I'm not going to be able to see them, unfortunately. Is there a way that I can see the other ones? That sucks if you guys donated and I can't see it. Is there a way to see it? Yeah, thanks for following and liking. You don't have to do the Amazon Prime thing. Yeah, if it pays out $50, $50. Yeah, it's good because honestly, YouTube has been my full-time job, and then you see all those people getting banned because the AI moderation like messes up somewhere, and you just kind of start to feel a little bit insecure. So I feel like I follow all the rules, but like I said with that whole Elon Musk thing, I fear the incorrect chat moderation screwing me over sometimes. Yeah, I've ridden a horse. If you follow me over on I can pull it up right now. Follow me over at Instagram, Decoy BTS. Got a lot of stuff over there, so follow me if you haven't already. Yeah, you got me when I was over at Donuts Range Day. I can't click that because that's against toss, whatever. You know me on my Cowboy Day. Yeah, Brett Cooper, if she's ever doing a live show around you, I think that she has a new baby, so I don't think she's going to be doing live stuff. But I can't recommend enough going to Brett Cooper's live show. She's exactly how she is online. Very high energy, super intelligent, can just go continuously. Like her live show is like 2.5 hours, maybe 1.5 hours of her online show. And she's, you know, I don't want to use the word brilliant, overuse it, but sometimes like you see someone that's in your field, she's like an online commentator, and I feel the same way of like in the NBA, like me being like a Patrick Beverly, where like it took me a longer time to make the league, but now I'm a starter. Like I have 1 million subscribers. You know, I'm making a living off of YouTube. I made it. But then you see someone young like who became like an instant superstar, like not Luka Doncic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, for lack of a better person, like a LeBron James. LeBron James comes in straight out of high school as a superstar, and you just have to like resign to the idea of, I'm never gonna be as good at this game than the young superstar. So yeah, I can't sing Brett Cooper's praises enough. She's go see her live if you can. Yeah, I don't even want to use like King Flopper. That's what LeBron James is. I don't want to sing his praises at all, but it's similar. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Kitty. Be good with the super chat saying, what if you put good news segments at the end of your vids? The sad part is that's just the news cycle. I tried to do before I was doing concise, lighthearted commentary. I was like a bootleg Tim Pool, doing like, you know, putting myself in the corner of the screen and then just pushing record and going on there. I would try to do like one good news story every now and then. And those videos would always flop harder than anything. Like, I didn't really understand YouTube in the first place, but good news stuff just doesn't work. I know, what is it? Liberal Hive Mind puts a meme, I think, at the beginning of end of every video. Honestly, I don't think it's going to work for me, unfortunately. Anything else? Yeah. Yeah, there's no more outro. I feel like, do you guys even like push Y in chat if you want to hear me say like you guys watching me maybe for over a year now, me say, if you appreciate my concise, light-order commentary, make sure you, like, do you guys want to hear that every time? I kind of feel like I like watching Penguins or Asmongold. They just do the video and it just ends. And I feel like, yeah, they grow more subscribers than me, so obviously they're doing something right. You guys actually want to hear me say, if you appreciate my, I feel like I almost don't even like saying it. What's up, Uganda hater? No, glad to know you're here. The video feels wrong if you're not there. You need the routine? I feel like everybody says yes. I mean, the thing is, I'm able to have it memorized because it has so much alliteration. Like if you've been watching, if you're an OG Decoy Voice watcher, viewer, subscriber, you know that it's changed over time. It used to be longer. It says, if you appreciate my concise, light order commentary on the tragic status of today's reality, hopefully I've earned your subscription. And then check out this next video, or like they used to be longer, but over time I've like kind of refined it to be is not illiterate as possible with the rhymes. If you appreciate my concise, lighthearted commentary, yeah, concise, lighthearted, appreciate lighthearted commentary on the tragic status that is today's reality. And then there used to be it used to talk about being unbiased. My closing needed to be like family. I should be like Vin Diesel. I should have like a cutoff, a black shirt. Just be all like buff and be like, you know, nothing's more important than the bite people in this chat. Like, do that. Well, it's a warm, familiar hug at the end of the video. I guess so. I'm not forgetting the outro. I just figured like once I hit 1 million subscribers, I'm like this panhandling guy. Like, can you guys subscribe to me? Like, it literally changes nothing in my life. It's just like having the 100,000 subscribers was like a life-changing moment, because then I realized I can do this for real. Like I can make money. This could be my life's work. And then hitting 1 million would be like, wow, I'm legit. I'm on like, I went from watching Timcast to being on Timcast IRL, like getting flown out there. I went from obviously Brett Cooper came online after me, but then being able to like my video was featured on her video announcing her new show after getting fired from the Daily Wire. Like, being 1 million subscribers was a big thing, so I'm always like, begging for it, but I just kind of feel weird about it now, Not to mention other people that cover my videos. Yeah, like it's Asmongold watching my content online and backlinking me because he's really cool about that was a big moment for me. But I think a lot of people think, oh, Asmongold made you, when it wasn't that at all. I feel like I probably had like 600,000 to 800,000 subscribers when Asmongold started to watch me. So he definitely helped me get that push to 1 million. Like, I think that this year I wasn't gonna make 1 million. Like I thought in 2024 I'd hit 1 million. And I just didn't do it. And then as I was going throughout the year, like halfway through, I think from January to like March or even April, I didn't have any video that hit 1 million views anymore. So I was like, okay, not gonna hit 1 million views or 1 million subscribers this year either. But then when the riots in LA broke out, I covered that. A lot of people wanted my input because I knew all those areas and I knew people that lived over there, and I had some, I won't snitch anybody out. I knew stuff that was happening over there. I was able to cover it, concise, lighthearted commentary, and I blew up. And I think that Asmongold reviewed some of those videos as well. And then I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna hit 1 million subscribers. Like, I think I went from like 700K to 900K, and it became real, and then I was able to do it. So yeah, Asmongold definitely helped push me over the hump, but I was already like full time of it. Like I said, I felt the same exact way as that one creepy YouTube creator, Tuv, I forget his name. He talked about how he hit 100K subscribers, and then he was like killing it online. He had a really popular channel, and then he was on Moist Critical's channel. Like, I think he even flew him out. Like, they did a cooking show together, and everybody's like, "Oh, Moist Critical made you." It's like, no, Tuv was already an online personality before Moist Critical. He was just able to get noticed by him. Oh yeah, Nux is cool. Nux Gundam, it was cool to have them. Like, Nux has been a cool guy to me. He's always like, helped push the channel. I think he rated one of my live streams and helped me get like, all these new viewers over on Kick, I believe. But Gundam, I remember I was doing the live streams with Mally Mouse. We were restarting that Bay State channel, which I probably should revive. But when Mally Mouse wasn't on the show anymore, I was like, let me line up all these guests. So I had, no disrespect to any of them, but I had 4 guests lined up. Every single one of them flaked on me like the day of, like saying, oh, I forgot or whatever. And I'm like, no shade on them. They got stuff going on in their life. Perfectly fine. But It's a Gundam's the only one that actually showed up and was on my live stream. And even had me on his live stream afterwards. So maybe it was the opposite way. Whatever. But yeah, Gundam, he's cool. He actually, like, people online are flaky, but he was not. I mean, a lot of people online that have been around for a while are going to be doomers. Yeah. Yeah, I don't even think Gundam does live streams anymore, does he? Yeah. Yeah, 1 million subs in 5 years is pretty crazy, especially when the first 2 years of me being online was like, I was probably at like 30,000 subscribers. Like, you're not doing anything, you're just kind of hanging out. I would just work my job. I'd get home after work, I'd eat dinner, and I'd record some episode and just like not knowing what I was doing until I really like learned the science of YouTube, Yeah, Mel, it was great. It was great. It was cool to have people on there. I think if I ever do another like a live stream with a show with a person, I think it needs to be in person. I think there just needs to be interaction. There's a difference of conversation when you're like on a Zoom call versus to being in person. Like, nothing against anybody. It's just, I feel like that's the way you got to do it. Yeah, okay, so some people don't like Asmongold, but it's like he has a huge audience. Like, he didn't become successful on accident. Like, he's genuinely him. He's genuinely him. Yeah, zero latency. Honestly, I don't think I ever had any issues. I did like streaming off a StreamYard. Like, they make it as simple as possible. It's like an in-web browser that you do it, but it's just, I think there's nothing that replicates talking to somebody. Like, you guys might not like, what is it, Abba and Preach? Abba and Preach are they're the two Canadian guys that talk about like social things. Like they cover like the manosphere stuff and red pill stuff a lot, but you might not like their political takes, but just their personalities. Those guys are comedians and they're able to bounce off each other, and it's like it's a really well-oiled machine. I haven't watched them so much since it became more of like a podcast format, but I really appreciate their formula and I like listening to them. We're gonna have different takes. You know, I wasn't I think Abba's from Ethiopia. I don't want to be wrong, but I think he's he's Ethiopian, maybe incorrect, but he was like, you know, comes over to Canada, serves in their military. Me and him are going to have very different life experiences. We're going to have different political opinions on stuff. That's perfectly fine. I can respect his opinions on stuff. I can really respect when he went on that No Jumper podcast. I don't have to, you know, I don't share values with the Adam 22 guy, but when Adam 22 and Abba from Abba and Preach had a conversation about success online, like, they knew their shit. It was very enlightening. I appreciate what they said on there, you know? Yeah, and you can think that Abba and Preach fell off, but it's like, I think that at some point in time, a lot of people won't watch me anymore because they think, oh, his political takes got this, so he started covering this thing over there. But I mean, it's like, yeah, like, same thing with friends you have in real life. Sometimes when you're in high school, these people just line up with you and you're like super good friends. You go to college, you never talk to each other again. And then later on in life, you come back and you become buddies again. Like, that's, internet relationships are just like regular relationships. You should do a stream when you take that bat to the cages and hit some dingers. Guys, I was going to IRL live stream on Saturday. I did the Dodger event. If you guys haven't already, follow me over on Instagram. I'll post some content over there. But I got to play at Dodger Stadium. It was super cool. Got to hit some dingers over there. I'm terrible. Oh my God. I got to, I made content out of it, so I'll post it on that. But I got to pitch in the bullpen. It's the dumbest thing. I just lost confidence. I just suddenly my mechanics, like I was just like a newborn baby giraffe. Like I could not throw a strike if my life depended on it. I have no idea what happened. I was just warming up. I almost sailed a couple balls over the fence, and I'm like, it's getting weird. Like people are watching me, and then I just kept on going. I'm like, guys, I can't. Like it was bad. So yeah, if you haven't already, subscribe to me over on Instagram. I'll show you me playing some baseball. Had some good hits, got some good fielding in. I am not going to be the next Ohtani though, unfortunately. I just need practice. I need to get outdoors more. Like I watched Super Eye Patch Wolf hit 1 million subscribers. His video about hitting 1 million subscribers is very enlightening for me. But he recently talked about him doing like his podcast channel, his clips channel, and his main channel, and how he found success and how he found happiness. Because when you do YouTube and your life gets very, very like, you have one good month, you're able to pay all your bills, then all of a sudden you have a bad month, and you're like, oh my God, I'm going to be homeless. You become obsessed with YouTube. And I'm not complaining to anybody, but it's just like, that's the way it is. But then he talked about on his secondary channel, like, oh yeah, he had a secondary channel, has his primary channel, and then he got into jiu-jitsu. I'm like, I have times where I'm like off of work and I don't have anything. And I'm like, I'm boring. All I'm gonna do is check Twitter. I'm gonna check the Daily Mail. I'm gonna check CNN, MSNBC, and Fox. Like in my free time when I'm in bed, I'll just be like, you know, still working passively. And I'm like, it's so unhealthy. So it's like I need to figure out some sort of game to play. I was in a flag football league, and then my buddy destroyed his knee and like tearing every single tendon and needing every single surgery known to man. And it kind of scared me off of that because I'm getting older too. How many chat windows do I have open? I just have the one. I'm looking at all the chats. I just can't display it because one of the chats, unnamed, would probably violate YouTube's TOS because it's just the Wild West over there, and I don't have mods. But that's fine. That's fine. We don't need it. I like to see the chat on screen as I go, so it doesn't look like I'm this madman talking to himself in an empty room. But that's all right. Touching grass is always good. Yeah, I was like getting ready for my Dodger day, playing Dodger Stadium. It was really cool, and I'm just playing catch, and I'm realizing like, oh my God, like getting old sucks, guys. Not that platform. Sobe, you don't have to mod for me though. You're already doing so much work. You're doing Kick, you're doing Twitch. I don't wanna make you guys work for me at all. Yeah, you guys know what platform I'm talking about. Other creators have said the same thing, and honestly, whatever. You guys get your words out. Whatever. Otani got there with hard work, but Otani's also like 6'5", 250 or something. That I'm getting it wrong. Otani's also a very large individual. You can't teach size sometime. Yeah, Otani's 6'3", 210. I'm not 210, guys. If I can gain weight like that, maybe. Yep. Yeah, and the thing is always like, Twitch was super nice to me. They offered to give me the decoy handle, which I feel like will help me legitimize getting that everywhere. So I'm very gracious to Twitch, and also the idea of being able to speak to an audience that may not be able to hear more moderate voices, and to give somebody not necessarily give them a platform, but give them a chat room when we're hanging out. Like, I'm already done all the topics today. We're just like, running out the clock right now. But give places to congregate where it's like, hey, you guys might not be super Democrat, you might not be super conservatives, you might despise Bernie Sanders and Chuck Schumer equally as much as you despise Dick Cheney and Mitch McConnell. The political vagrants, political transients. That's us, Yeah, I say you keep it clean out of respect, and I appreciate that, because it's not like we want to self-censor, but we also want to be as attractive to as many moderates as possible. If you get too extreme over there, one, you're likely a Fed. But two, it pushes away people that are just kind of like, hey, I was a Democrat by default. What else is out there? Creatine, my guy. I mean, honestly, I've been starting to take creatine. It helped me gain weight like never before. But I don't know how big I want to be. I don't know. Yeah. Is it really 4 chats for 3 streams? No, it's 1-4 right now. I usually am on Decap Decoy and Decoy Voice at the same time, but not anymore. I don't think you need to. I could also be live streaming from X. You guys want to watch me on X? I think X always messes up the numbers, because like right now we have 500 people on watching on YouTube, but X will count everybody that like viewed it. So it'll say like, oh, you have 500 live viewers on YouTube and 34 over on Twitch, but you have 5,000 on X. It's like, you don't have 5,000 on X. You probably have 3, but they always mess up your numbers. Don't be like Hassan. I feel like that's the thing, is we want there to be alternatives to Hassan and his bubble over there, because how many times have I seen oops, let me stop this. How many times have I seen regular people on, I'll actually go ahead and mod you over there. Wait, how do I mod you? Manage? No. Heck. User, pin, delete, manage. I think I can just delete you. I'll mod you after this thing's over. But I've seen people that don't know anything about politics. They're just Twitch streamers, and they go on Hassan's channel, and he just feeds them all this radical beliefs, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, I want to be one of the political virtuous people too. So they start parroting his talking points. I'm like, you guys know nothing about nothing. You have no idea how extreme his political views are, and even mainstream Democrats are separating themselves and not inviting him to stuff. Like, he is no longer the de facto leader of the political commentary on that side. Even other Democrats are starting to back away from him. Not Democrats. Other liberal commentators are starting to hate on him too. So it's like, there needs to be another place for people to go to. Am I going to be suddenly, a Twitch streamer walking around with a selfie cam doing IRL content? Yes. No, probably not. Yeah, last vote, wide outro. So maybe I'll do the outro again, yeah. No, he's not begging for that. I'm just trying to make mods or whatever, and I don't know how this thing works. But yeah. Yeah, people even bouncing to Nick. Because here's the thing is, I'm the classical normie. Don't know much about much. I remember hearing about Nick and thinking all the things that like Reddit would tell you about him. And then I saw him on Tucker Carlson. And then I was like, hey, he's not who they said they are. The same way if you only thought about Candace Owens from Dave Chappelle, what he said about her, you would think that she was this evil individual. But then when I remember seeing the first time, I heard Candace Owens on the Daily Wire with Ben Shapiro. There was an interview between Ben Shapiro interviewing Candace Owens. I think it was even before she became one of their personalities. And I was like, wait a minute. I've been pre-programmed by the media to hate this person because she's a disgusting, vile individual. And then I hear her talk long form with another person that is supposed to be a disgusting, vile individual. And I'm like, wait, these guys are both they're pretty moderate. They're just giving this, they have different takes. Do I agree with everything they say top to bottom? No. But they're not who I think they are. And the thing is, though, is the more free speech platforms there are, the more you hear them, you're like, hey, Nick says a lot of stuff I disagree with. The inverse of what he's saying. But he's not who they portray him as. And Tucker Carlson, him going to talk to Putin during wartime. Journalists would always do that. But the simple fact that all of a sudden the mainstream media started freaking out saying, he's an enemy of the state, just lets you know that the mainstream media is the enemy of the people. All the right-wing people started watching far-right people in the last few months. Here's the thing. On Reddit, I'm referenced very rarely, but they're like, he's unbiased. Decoy is the most MAGA conservative bootlicker, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm just a guy that doesn't want crime to happen. Like Caleb Hammer, the financial audit guy, says, I just don't want there to be crime and violent criminals being let out again. And all of a sudden they're saying he's like a MAGA influencer. It's obnoxiously inaccurate. Yeah. Decoy, apparently leftists on Twitter would look at me as an Asian immigrant with common sense values and compare you to the Nazis. Yeah, they're already trying to give me the Nazi word. Like in that one video I talked about, I replied to Super Eye Patch Wolf, and there's a guy that's saying, oh, you're a Nazi or whatever, and now you're getting harassed by other people on Instagram, probably from one guy from all accounts, all saying similar things and just being very, very violent towards me. But the idea is they don't know what they're talking about. They haven't watched a single long-form video of me. They don't know where I'm coming from. They haven't seen my logic. They haven't seen me use actual news clips from the liberal media showing it contradict or showing it verify things. Like, they don't know what I'm about. All they know is Reddit said, some bots on Reddit tried to AstroTurf and say, anybody that doesn't fall in line with everything we say is a Nazi. They deserve to be ended. That's what they want to do because that's all they have. They can't allow the masses to hear common sense because they're no longer going to believe them anymore. Yeah. Endless purity tests from the people who advocate for violence. Exactly. When they started celebrating what happened to Charlie Kirk, eye-opening moment. When they started celebrating the fact that American soldiers got ended, a soldier got ended on U.S. soil by somebody from another country that shouldn't have been allowed in here, eye-opening moment. They are not the virtuous party they claim to be. They are not the moral accepting equal rights person, women's rights people. They are very, very regressive, and now we all know it. The fight for truth is a hard journey. Thank you, Maybe Sunshine. But I think that's why, I've been compensated for it, because this job isn't the hardest thing in the world, but especially during COVID, it was very hard to navigate the world and give people the truth. Like, one of my major things I would talk about all the time was Kyrie Irving. When he was on the Boston Celtics, no, he was on the Brooklyn Nets at the time. He didn't want to get the vaccine. So New York City, being New York City under Eric Adams at the time, I believe, said the most ridiculous rules ever. He's allowed to practice with the team in the gym, no mask, whatever. He's allowed to travel with the team. If he comes to LA, he can play in the Staples Center. He can play in the SoFi Stadium, not the SoFi Stadium, the Intuit Dome. He can do anything. But once he comes to New York City, he cannot play the game because he doesn't show us his document saying that he got the vaccine. But if he wants to buy a ticket, hang out in the locker room with the Brooklyn Nets, practice with the Brooklyn Nets, work out with the Brooklyn Nets, get on an airplane with the Brooklyn Nets, but he cannot step on court. But if he pays $100, he can go sit courtside, no mask, cheer the Brooklyn Nets on the same amount of distance. And it's like, yeah, I just wanted to share with people how absurd their COVID regulations got during that time. But you're always tiptoeing, almost getting banned because Joe Biden told all the social media platforms, hey, this nonsense is inconvenient to us trying to pressure you to catering to our favorite pharmaceutical company. So ban all these people. Yeah, getting to the truth is difficult back in the day especially, but, you know, thankfully Elon Musk bought Twitter, made it X, and now all the other social media platforms are starting to lean into it. Yeah, Black Knight saying, I saw people on my campus celebrating when he got shot because they heard that he was a fascist. They heard that he was a Nazi. So if ever anybody ends me, Reddit will celebrate because they heard that I was a fascist. They heard I was a Nazi. They didn't know that I was a guy saying, hey, no violence, no fighting. I'm Shelby, almost said Shelby Church. That's the YouTuber. Arthur Shelby, no. Chat, who's the guy from Peaky Blinders, the main guy? Whatever. All right, close this window. Thomas Shelby. I'm Thomas Shelby saying no fighting. If anybody's ever in the chat saying we need to fight, that's a fed. I'm always trying to say everybody back down. But Reddit will let you think. And all those crazies on the internet, on Instagram saying I'm a Nazi will try to say this. So when they end me, or if they end me, hopefully not, they can cheer for it. And the sad thing is, they want the same for you. And it's starting to get scary. Yeah, Cillian Murphy, Scarecrow, the guy, he had a role in Inception too. Yeah. Yeah, it was the biggest con in the world. Sad to say, it was. Yeah, thanks. Claim my name. Thanks, guys. So we've been live streaming for a long time, so thanks for hanging out as long as it did. It seems like most people are gone because it's probably, what is it, like midnight? No, not midnight. It's like 11 p.m. over on the East Coast. So thanks for hanging out as long as you had. But for now, duck off.